You predicted it.
I said we gonna get some evil Khalil in the house.
You did.
I said it.
You did.
I said it.
You predicted it. He's gonna milk the fuck
I didn't
out of
see
this.
that coming at all.
I did.
Really?
Guess who did? Guess who did though?
You mentioned it. And I was like, I hope not. And sure enough,
I just didn't even like.
that's exactly what he went.
I really thought he was just gonna be the innocent cripple. That's the motivation.
The innocent cripple.
We pray at night for the helpless. Hoping you get us through breakfast. Wishing somebody come save us. Black lightning's back, come to shock the haters. Woke up in the ghetto, we need our hero back. Guns clapping, gangs active, like where we at. Black lightning need to strike, like where we at. Show us another way besides these guns and crack. Nighttime suit up, this for payback. This our Superman, Robin, and the Bat. Step back, you might get shocked off of contact. This was for the hood, this for being black. We ain't got no hope, they killing every day. I mean, we need you in every way. We need results, we don't need to see your face. Here he comes just to say the day. Here he comes just in perfect timing. To help the needy and guide the blinded. Last night I saw a superhero, he was black. He said this is for the street, Black Lightning's back.
This
Lightning?
show is ruining the Flash.
Well, what's ruining it is watching Black Lightning first, and then going back and watching the Flash. It's like, well, if this has been Black Lightning, they would have bashed his head in.
Oh my God! I'm watching the motherfucker cause once again, like you just said, I didn't make it. What I was doing? I slept through the Flash. Now too is I woke up and I was like, oh shit, cause I was tripping out. I thought I missed Black Lightning. So I woke up kind of pissed. I was like, oh shit, you heard me? And I didn't. And then so I watched Black Lightning first. I watched Flash the next morning.
Okay.
It wasn't like I like Flash still. Don't get it twisted, son. It's just certain things that made me go, man. Like you just said, man, when Black Lightning.
Black Lightning,
man,
it's
same.
It's not at all. It's like
Black
there are real
Lightning goes there.
consequences.
They give you everything you want.
Right, exactly.
Right.
It's consequences.
It's not there. But Let's take it a step back. I'm like, Flash is like, I guess, what is it? The softest show that they have on the network right now. I mean, Supergirl even kind of goes a little harder than.
I haven't been watching Supergirl. No, I haven't, so I don't know what goes on her shit. But welcome to Reviewing That Lightning, episode 4. That's us, we here back again. It's that actor guy, Marty&amp Bradford. You can find me on all your social media platforms at Mr. Bats. Spell that Mr. Outer, you ain't gonna find me. And today, we got tell them who you are, man. I ain't gotta get into all that.
Well, we've got Marty here. Marty, Marty Edwards 504 on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Also host the show, Your30 on lowrainpictures.com. You can find me on Google Play, Stitcher, and iTunes.
Yeah, man. And also we got a third voice here because I felt like with all these strong, powerful black ass women on this show, well, we need to get us a fucking strong, powerful black ass woman on our show.
You gotta have a female voice in this bitch.
It's a must.
So what's that? Let them know who you be.
What's up, y'all? It's J.Steel. And you can follow me on Instagram at @J.Steel_. I'm a member of TheMisbelief. And also Fat Girl Nola, which is my own little food blog. And I'm here today because I love comic books. And y'all need a woman on here. What are y'all doing?
We're sleeping.
We're sleeping. Well,
very much so.
We're sleep no more.
We're taking a nap.
We're sleep no more.
We haven't woke up.
So, yeah, man, I feel like we're coming into a pretty interesting episode of Black Lightning for the episode 4.
Yeah, okay.
I want to look up let me look up the name early. For Black Lightning. You remember the name of this episode? What's the name of this episode?
Oh, shoot.
It is Black Jesus, for real?
Is it Black Jesus?
That's what they named this episode. Okay. They named it Black Jesus. Everybody,
yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody keep calling this man goddamn Black Jesus.
I mean, basically, that's what he is to them, though.
I mean, he is motherfucking Black Jesus, you feel me? So, so as usual, before we get into our main event, our main course, the actual review of the episode, we always like to start it off with a segment I like to call Peepin' Pierce's Principles.
Now settle down, you two.
I give it to you, Black Lightning.
And that's when we get into the comic book side of it, because we said when we got on this journey that, you know what, we don't know enough about the actual comic book characters. So as we get into this show, as this show goes on, we're gonna also up our comic book knowledge. Speaking of upping the comic book knowledge, I gotta throw something out there that we missed last week.
What did we miss?
A comic booky thing. See, there's one thing about me is this: I'm a motherfucking nerd. So if there's certain things, if I don't get it that week, I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna find some shit. Mm-hmm. So apparently, when Grace and Anissa met, remember Grace had this comic book, right? It was The Outsiders. And we spoke on how, like, I knew about The Outsiders because, you know, Batman started The Outsiders. And with Black Lightning's help, he started The Outsiders, funny enough. But here go the interesting thing about that comic book. That comic book that they had was an issue that had Lady Eve, who was Jill Scott's character, on the front cover of it. And apparently the woman who can't shoot, Miss Useless, I call her Useless, who missed Black Lightning, you feel me? Tobias Henchman, she's an actual comic character too. They just never said her name yet, but she's on that issue as well. It's like this issue with these evil women all coming together. And apparently, Thunder and Grace are both part of the Outsiders. And Grace has superpowers in the comic books.
Oh, wow.
Straight up.
Okay.
So, it was funny enough. So, they met off of a comic book that's meta shit because they're actually in the Outsiders, the group of the comic book that they bonded over after meeting. So, that lets you know it was like
crazy.
Yeah, man, and that's how the characters actually met in comics was on the team. They met on the Outsiders team. So it's funny that they also was able to bond over the Outsiders comic book that most likely featured their characters.
And how they met.
But I didn't know, I knew that Grace was Anissa's girlfriend and such from shit I had read, but I did not know, it got by me, that Grace is a hero in her own right, and she's supposed to get powers, or she's supposed to have powers. Apparently, she's Amazonian in the comics.
Oh,
she come from Wonder Woman them.
Oh,
straight up.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm liking that.
Yeah. So now in the show, it looks like from what we saw, it seems like she's gonna be more love interest than superhero.
Right.
But what we see from these shows that we watch, you see a motherfucker not be a hero, and then next you know, by season 3, they shooting arrows all perfectly.
He's a guardian.
You know what I mean? We have, right. So we already know Grace gonna have a journey, but of course we're paying attention to Anissa's journey first. But before we get into any of that shit, as usual, like I said, we're in the comic book. So my homework, I was picking up on issue number 2 of Black Lightning, year 1. And like I said, man, it's been a very interesting thing about this whole Black Lightning comic book so far as I've been reading these year 1s is the fact that, like I said, in the boxes where usually you have the superhero, the main character talking, you kind of, you know what's going on in the character's mind. Instead of Jefferson Pierce and we getting into his brain and him describing how he feels in the situations, it's other people. So in issue number 1, it was his wife. This is issue number 2, and I'm going to give you a spoiler. In issue number 3, it's going to be Gamby, and that's where you find some very interesting things about Gamby that I can't wait to talk about, especially given the backdrop of this episode. But in issue number...
Gamby has a question mark.
Oh, my God, Alfred.
Ever for now.
So, but in this one, like I said previously before, but in issue number 2, it's Superman. Clark Kent. He's the one that's basically you seeing how he feels about this mysterious figure that's upcoming, Black Lightning. So the comic book starts with Black Lightning. He taking down he's basically on a whole freaking revenge kick because once again last comic his a person that he had confided in was killed in cold blood by the 100. So he getting all the information he can to bring down the freaking 100. So it starts off with some pretty cool action shots. He busting in, he kicking ass. This one cat took a bullet that didn't even have to take a bullet, but he getting it in, he's saving people's lives, and he freaking interrogating the fuck out folk. And that's one thing I take into because I'm a Batman fan. So seeing some intense interrogations always make me smile. Like, yeah, whoop that ass, whoop that white man ass, and get what you need to know out of him. And after he arrests all them, Superman comes. Black Lightning goes on a run. Did they show that part? I think I skipped. But Superman basically comes, and even Superman is speaking on the fact that he don't come down on the south side that much. He don't come down in the black area that much. And you know what I mean? He's there to play cleanup, but Black Lightning's in this motherfucker doing the work.
Like Superman mentions that?
Nearly 2/3 of the officers killed in the line of duty in the last decade have fallen in South Side. And there have been several officer-involved shootings as well. There's mutual distrust to say the least. And we know what other... Is this the panel? The investigation will be difficult as the vigilantes' efforts are focused on the South Side neighborhood known throughout Metropolis as suicide slums. And Henderson admits all but ignored in recent years by most social services, including police. But okay, maybe he didn't take that lick, but I'm saying, motherfucker, if you are over here saying that they've been ignored by most social services and police, nigga, you telling me, nigga, you've been ignored too, Soups? It don't seem like you come over here often. Because there's something else, I feel like I'm rushing it, because there's something else that he said in this panel. And the criminal status of his victims. Something. I'll come back to it.
I just thought that would be an interesting observation.
For Superman to say.
To be aware of.
I felt like he says something like
that. He probably does.
Because the thing is, this whole comic book is basically, there's this other scene where we get to see Tobias and we get hinted at, and he's answering to this other guy. And this is not like Jill Scott. This is some whole other cat. So once again, this may be a future villain that we may see in the future. This future villain we may see in the future.
I'm sorry, wait, which one is Tobias?
That's Tobias.
Oh, that's okay. Really tell.
That's Tobias.
I was like, it could be.
It's not gonna be that guy.
Sure, yeah.
Tobias bald though, man. It could be that guy with his long hair and his long extremities.
Okay, yeah,
and
right.
He got this nigga ass nose. You feel me?
He kind of looks like the Kingpin's illegitimate child.
And what's funny is a lot of what he be on is kind of Kingpinish. I mean, even they spoke on in the episode that we're going to get into about how he was in politics at one point. They said that in the show, remember?
Yeah,
and that happens in this comic. Once again, the show borrows heavily from this year one comic. You feel me? And and so we get into basically what just happened with these two. Would you like to do Tobias? Bring your hands like, because the thing is, they don't really know who Black Lightning is yet. He kicking ass and they hearing about his freaking legend. But I feel like they calling him like the fireman or something. Like they don't know who he is or how it's going down. Because once again, this is year one. Meanwhile, Clark Kent is doing a whole deal on Jefferson Pierce, the principal, and we see him a lot in the school. Look at those bullet holes in the back. Being a great principal, he just like on the show, he knows all his kids' names. He makes sure everybody's together. Like he meets Clark, and Clark comes there, and he's basically trying to get to know him a bit better, and he can't believe what you saw some titties. I saw some titties.
Are they in the school right now?
They're in the school, yeah.
You saw titties in the school?
Yeah, man.
Well,
that's right.
Not just inappropriate wear, I should say. but
look at this. Look what happens.
Students.
Mr. Pierce, Ms. Coop says we got to go home and change.
Okay.
And you on that? Don't we look nice? And then he tells her, sure, but work clothes are for work. Right now you're at school. Find some sweats in the gym so you don't have to miss class. So he even getting like he ain't even judging them. He like yeah, okay, I ain't gonna hate on y'all being skimpy and y'all got y'all titties out, but guess what? We're at work right now. And what you do at work is what? Well, work clothes, you gotta be professional. So he be like once again all throughout this comic when he's interacting with these kids or whatnot, he's being like a motherfucker that you need to be listening to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Got him kind of looking like Malcolm in that shot there, huh?
Right quick.
He does.
Oh, here go even a better take on it. When he said work for work, they actually are strippers. He said like Clark asked him. Clark said that was Frank. Some might say it's offensive because he said work is for work, and she said Alicia and Carmen both work as strippers. Would it be less offensive to ignore that fact? Maybe preach at them or something? So
okay, see, that's what I was. Okay, cool. That's
he's
what
doing
I was
with most.
What he told them, yeah.
He's doing what most rappers need to do. See their people where they are.
Right.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Get them in the door.
Get them in the door. Except for they are. You're a stripper and you're out here with your titties out, but your titties shouldn't be out here. We're at school.
Yeah, cool. right. Yeah, you're not at work.
You're not at work.
Okay, I'm with that. All right.
You feel me? So here we go when he really getting into him. Even people with nothing to hide usually get a little nervous when cops reporters show up announced. And you talking about how like niggas unfazed by Clark just appearing. Either I'm wrong, he's not like because Clark is thinking that maybe he could be Black Lightning, maybe, but he's really becoming more and more impressed with the man. You know what I mean? Let me see what this is. Well, Superman does. Oh no, here go a part. They talking about Black Lightning. I don't approve of drug dealing, theft, extortion, rape, or murder. Apparently, neither does he. That's what Jefferson saying about Black Lightning. This is our library. Vandals destroyed most of our books, so donations are always welcome. Include that if you can. And then Clark says, my editor thinks he's a dangerous outsider undermining the law. And he said, Jefferson says, yet your editor seems to think highly of Superman. What do you make of that? Clark says, well, Superman does let people see him. And then that's where it goes. And Jefferson says, not around suicide. He doesn't. And then Clark got to give him fair point. There we go, fair point. He told my colleague Lois Lane that when he's come to Southside, his abilities seem impaired. He can't explain it. So and then Black Lightning said, yeah, that happened to a lot of people. So nigga kind of got him on his white privilege, like, oh, so Superman, you just told me that your powers don't work when you come in a black neighborhood.
Right.
Okay.
And Jefferson go, yeah, sure. That's what they be saying. Feel me? I knew it was somewhere where Clark said that shit. Cause I was like, oh shit.
Right.
Superman took the lick for not coming in the hood. Bitch, why you don't come in the hood? Talking about my powers don't work. And then Superman asked him, you're not implying, as is Jefferson, you're not implying that Superman's a bigot, are you? Not at all. Just that he's more human than most folks think. Boom! Boom! Nigga. Boom! And once again, we got Clark following him. And it's really just very interesting seeing them go tit for tat. It's almost like when you watch Batman meet Superman and you see how opposite they are.
Right.
You seen Black Lightning meet Superman and I think you get Clark realizing how alike they are as far as moral fortitude. And he calling your boy on his shit. And it's a trip as we look at this. You go through this whole comic and you ain't seen Black Lightning really suit up except for in the beginning. This whole comic is you basically getting to know the man and it's Clark getting to know the man. You know what I'm saying? And Tobias, he plotting. And funny enough, if I'm right, we meet this dude in an episode today. That's 2-Bits with the one with the dreads. That's him in the comic without dreads. That's 2-Bits. They call him 2-5. But I looked it up and 2-5 and 2-Bits is the same person. And in the comic books, 2-Bits is Black Lightning's brother-in-law. So 2-Bits is working for Tobias Well as one of his gangsters and shit, and Tobias Well is basically telling his gangsters, we gotta get Black Lightning out here, but we also gotta get Jefferson Pierce out here because he too positive and shit.
Right.
You feel me? So what happens is 2-Bits eventually gonna start trying to help out his brother-in-law because everybody know he good people. That's Black Jesus. Fuck. So now we got this scene of Black Lightning running up in the spot once again, trying to find out more information and letting y'all know I'm Black Lightning. I'm here. I ain't for the bullshit. You feel me? They tried to set him up. He gets shot, but he still, kicks some ass and he get away. But the thing is, he has to realize that just like if you ever read Batman Year 1, Batman had to learn. You hear me? He had to motherfucking learn how to be Batman. What the fuck is out here? And one of the most interesting things about Batman Year 1 is Batman had to learn that the biggest way to get at his enemies is through fear. And making them so afraid of him from the beginning, from when they see him, that they ain't gonna want to fight. And it's a similar thing that Black Lightning is going through here, where it's like, man, like, yeah, dude, I gotta get them to fear me more. Also, his wife Lynn, here's Lynn again, is like patching him up, and we starting to see the openings of, this is gonna start affecting your family life, dog. Even little Anissa coming in here is like, what's going on? And letting them know that as we get into his brother-in-law want to let him know that, look, they trying to take you out, son. So, and we have Gamby pop up, because I forgot, we got Gamby coming to dinner, and Gamby ain't being shady yet. But once again, we show that Gamby's part of the family. Gamby tried to hold it down, and the news is starting to hit more and more that Black Lightning's out here. Gamby gives him a new suit. He bulletproof now.
Oh, that's a nice suit.
You hear me? He look kind of like Static Shock on the suit.
That's what I was about to say that,
But he's a precursor to Static Shock. And we have Superman. Is this the part with Superman? Where he says, a dazzling display lit up metropolis skies last night, heralding dramatic changes for Suicide Slum. This is juxtaposed behind Black Lightning, lighting niggas up and kicking ass. When an individual possessing an as-yet unexplained command of electrical energy identified himself as a vigilante who has been patrolling the South Side. And Lieutenant Bill Henderson says his investigation is still underway. And he comes up on, what is this? He catches this whole gang. Oh, yeah. And that's when he finally names himself. He catches this whole gang. He kicks all their asses. And then this freaking reporter cat, photographer cat come up to him and he's like, what's your name? Because they've been calling him like the fireman or like Flashlight or some shit. And that's when you get to tell him, bitch, I'm Black Lightning. Fuck with me. And, we get into on the next issue more of, scope of Black Lightning. But once again, as I read ahead, the next issue is mainly from Gamby's perspective. And you get to see, basically, like I said, Gamby was best friends with his dad, and he kind of shady, but in the comic book, he's shady, but not for the wrong reasons, which is kind of like the show on the Slick. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to get to issue 3 next week. What you read? You read something, J.Steel?
I did.
What you read?
So I actually I went to the classic Black Lightning.
Ooh.
What's it called?
It's just called Black Lightning.
But I'm saying, like, what year,
Issue 1 and 2. It just says Black Lightning.
Nigga just said, I just went to
It's just Black
Lightning.
You said Black Lightning.
Let's see. I see you got it on your phone. I just want to follow along, see what this artwork looking like and shit. Black Lightning, issue 1. Let's see if this is it right here. Is this it?
Yeah.
Oh shit! She went old school.
Okay.
I went super old school.
Yes,
I'm completely unfamiliar with the comic books.
They said right. The cover says 30 cent, bitch. 30 cent. Thunderous origin issue of Black Lightning.
It's a classic for real.
So this one was really interesting because
hold up. I just like this. I like this quote on the cover. You pushers have wrecked the city long enough. Now it's my turn to wreck you. All right. Well, what you talking? What is it about? What's going on?
I love this Black Lightning, no matter what. He's like super throwback 70s, 60s.
Got a fro.
Blaxploitation, maybe a little bit fro. But I wanted to read this one just because I wanted to get like fully acclimated into the world of Black Lightning.
The fuck is the Batman comic doing up here? Oh, they just started it with a Batman comic? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
There we go. Let us know. What's your answer?
So, just going through it, I wanted to see, honestly, after seeing the show, I wanted to see how it compares to the very first comic or the original. I'm assuming that these are like the very first.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it seems
you
like.
went original.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But we get a little bit of like origin about him, and I really skipped ahead to issue 2 when we start to learn more about the 100. We get introduced to Black Lightning, and what I thought was really interesting in this one is we get straight into him basically in the middle of a fight, kicking ass, and I was just like, okay, this is different. I don't know. I just feel like nowadays I'm kind of used to getting a little bit of origin, and not this one was just like we gonna get straight into it,
into the action.
Ain't no slow build, bit.
Ain't no slow build.
You catch up. That's kind of like what this show is like too. Like this whole show is This show is basically throwing us into his life with like 20 years into his career probably, and now we got to catch up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a fully formed world. Yeah, I like that.
Right,
though.
but we get introduced to Gamby.
Gamby's in the originals.
Yeah, he is.
Gamby's been around, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
So it starts out with him fighting. He's going through some stuff. He mentions the 100. He's kicking some ass. We see Gamby, in the trap. I don't want to call it a trap, but in the Black Lightning trap, making costumes and whatnot. And we get introduced to him. We learn that he's Jefferson Pierce. We also learn that he is a high school teacher, and he's kind of reminiscing on how he became Black Lightning.
So he was high school teacher here.
Yeah, he's a high school teacher here.
That was like in yours. And Nicole did Hands was high school. So that's the original one. He's a high school teacher. The principal joined some new ish. That's that year one shit. Once again, that's my shit. The year one shit. Continue.
Right. So we just get a lot of him being Jefferson Pierce. And what I get from this edition is that he seems to be a lot angrier. I don't know, like we get a much angrier depiction.
A black character written in the 70s. I
wonder. Even as Jefferson Pierce, he's very aggressive. Like they have a part, if you go down a little bit, they have a part where he's getting into a fight with somebody.
He slammed somebody against a locker in school, nigga.
Yeah, it looks very, very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
And it's just the thing about these older comics too, I feel like, is there's so much going on.
I mean, you have to even go panel by panel, like just what happened and like how you felt about the comics in general.
Calm down, black man.
Let's go shoot some honestly.
Hoops. Wait, pause. There's this picture where he got to shoot the basketball for real. Come on, 1970s.
Yeah.
He whooped somebody ass. He whooped this person ass in the hallway, and then the principal like, oh, that's pretty good. He walked and shoot some hoops. Like, what the fuck?
You can't be slamming their heads against the lockers like that. Let's go shoot some hoops.
Yeah, so this is the new gym the school built with that government grant. Looks out of place standing next to old Garfield High. Hey, teach, catch, and then he shoots the ball. Okay, but continue. Like I said, how you feel about what you read?
I'm digging the artwork though.
Yeah, in general,
I
like this one, but I find myself comparing it to the show, and honestly, I don't know. I feel like it's cool, but I feel like it's a lot different from what I was expecting. I feel like we get a much angrier sort of, I don't know. I hate to say outdated depiction of Black Lightning, but that's what I'm getting here.
Was there any nuance in this version of him? Would you say?
Because as we flip through this comic, there's a lot of action.
Yeah, there's just a whole lot going on, and honestly, you don't get as much of that rich story. And textures you do with the show.
It's a bias right here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fucking commercial. I mean,
there's a lot of advertisements too.
Oh my god.
Use it like to buy sea monkeys.
Comics.
So Tobias in the Shadows.
Yeah, so you get introduced to the 100, you get introduced to Tobias, you get introduced to the fact that he's a high school teacher. But like I said, literally all throughout, he's just kicking ass and taking names. And then in issue 2, they have like, I thought it was amazing. They have like this big fight that goes on for like so many panels. And
who's fighting?
It's him versus a bunch of members of the 100, Black Lightning. And then we also get introduced to a character named Merlin.
And we pause. I want to say this too. At the end of issue 1 is very similar to the end of issue 1 on mine. The end of issue 1 on the original Black Lightning has some guy that was helping him out hung on a basketball court by the 100. Mm-hmm. At the end of mine in year 1, some kid that helped him out was like crucified, was like staked to a freaking trophy case. So year 1 echoed some stuff from its original, which is cool to see. And once again, they're showing you the price of when you help a superhero, nigga. Some shit might happen, but I ain't gonna cut you off. It just was as a striking image.
Yeah, and I feel like that motif too. They used it. I don't want to jump into the show already, but they kind of used that too on the show as well. That one person who's kind of like the sacrificial lamb for him to really be like, okay, now I'm really about to be Black Lightning and be out here and kick ass.
Gammy gave him the suit at the end of the one, and they have it's not even at the end. This issue 1 long as fuck.
It is really long.
Like dog, and you kicking ass, but continue, man. It's just I'm looking along with you.
It's also ads.
It's a lot of ads.
Yeah. Merlin,
yeah. So we get introduced to Merlin. Merlin apparently is a character that was in a bunch of different DC comics as well, but he has some kind of association with the 100 that I'm not completely clear on.
Wait, Merlin the Archer.
Yeah.
That's Tommy Merlin.
And
from Arrow. He's an archer. He's a dark archer.
Arrow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's associated with Arrow.
You don't watch Arrow. I'm sorry. Fuck, you watch Flash. Shit.
The one show I don't watch is Arrow. Yeah.
So on Arrow, on the first season, that character Merlin. And what's funny is they split him into 2 characters in a weird way because there's Tommy Merlin, there's Malcolm Merlin, and they're 2. Tommy Merlin is Ollie's best friend. And Malcolm Merlin is basically his enemy, and you see how that shit like build up. So that's funny. So they got Merlin from the Arrow universe and the Black Lightning. All right, continue.
So right after we have this big fight scene with the 100, then he meets Merlin, and we get introduced to Merlin. And Merlin, there's some kind of correlation between obviously the 100, Merlin, and Tobias, where they all basically want to take Black Lightning down. They want to get him off the streets, all that sort of thing. So that's where 2 kind of wraps up, I believe.
So how does Tobias come across in these that is him, that's Merlin, Dark Archer. So how's Tobias look? Because you just saw in year 1 you felt like it was his you felt like he looked like Kingpin ripoff.
Yeah.
He's in the shadows wearing purple from what I saw here, right? So he kind of sort of different. Same a little.
Right.
He still kind of has remnants of.
He looks bigger in the originals though. Because the one y'all saw with mine in year 1, he looked kind of smaller.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's when he's a lot heftier.
He's huge. He look huge.
He's hefty.
But yeah. So that was Black Lightning, the original first 2.
The super long, classic, drawn out.
Would you recommend them though?
Yeah, that's the question. It doesn't sound like it.
No.
You wouldn't recommend the first 2?
Are you gonna finish?
See, I love classic comic books, but for some reason with this one, it just was so much going on. I found myself like getting lost and having to go back and backtrack, and it's just so much like wordy action. It's a little too much.
Maybe you shouldn't be reading old school comics because a lot of old school comics were cluttered in that way. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot of exposition.
Right.
It was a lot of shit on the panel. You know what I mean? We got a lot more streamlined as it got more into the 90s and such.
This is definitely though. This artwork is just I can't get over it. It's like it's so vintage that it seems like one of those comics that like if you ever go to a comic book shop, it's not a comic book that's going to be on the shelf or something.
It's going to be like
it's going to be in those bins that you have to dig through and find specifically. Exactly. You know what I mean?
I would say for the purposes of education and understanding the roots of this character, hell yeah. Read the classic ones. Yeah,
are you gonna finish?
I am gonna finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I am gonna finish.
And they get into more about Gambia look like, and we get to see,
you just get a lot where I feel like the new ones kind of consolidate things.
But see, that's the thing. Them cats probably even know when there's gonna get another issue.
Right.
So it was like, look, we're going to put everything up. And then we got a black hero too. Shit. Nigga, we going to get in how we can fit in, motherfucker. But through just looking at the pictures, bro, I'm interested. I don't know about you, J.Steel. I'm looking at this motherfucker like a lot of action happening. I saw Marilyn shoot this man with like 4 arrows and shit. He got one to the back of the head. Now he talking to some Asian chick. Like you said, it's a lot. I get that. It is boo cool.
Yeah, they even mentioned
Batman in this motherfucker.
Yeah, they mentioned Ra's al Ghul.
Damn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got Batman, Aquaman, and freaking Green Arrow.
There's all kind of connections in this. There's a lot going on. It's a whole lot going on.
Oh, so there's some flashback shit where they talk about how Merlin battled the Justice League and shit. Yeah, it's a lot of shit going on. But basically, does it look like Merlin's going to be a black lightning villain?
Yes. That's
Okay.
what it's looking like.
Okay.
Yep.
That'd be interesting if they get to that crossover. So, what you talking about in yours, man? You still in Cold Dead Hands?
I am still in Cold Dead Hands. I'm on issue 3. This one was called 2 Frightened Kids, 1 Deadly Weapon.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What a title.
What a title. So if you remember in the last time in Black Lightning Cold Dead Hands, Tobias Wells has come up with these really like alien tech weapons that he's consolidating into these sort of handheld things that are more accessible and putting them into mass production.
Oh,
so
yeah, because that last one ended with the kids finding their mom a fucking crazy ass gun.
Right, yeah. So the dad buys a gun for home protection. Kids find it, they blast through a wall, and then there are 3 people. We find out in this issue that there were 3 people down there. We only see one hand, but there are 3 people that kind of die in the rubble, basically. And so we open up, and this guy, they call him White Thunder, White Lightning, I believe. No, White Thunder. They do call him White Thunder.
Really?
Yeah, they call him White Thunder.
In 2018, we named motherfuckers White Thunder.
Wait until he takes his mask off. Let me just tell you that. I don't want to bury the leader, but wait till this
Let me guess what race he is.
Oh my God. I don't think I swear,
so White Thunder comes
guess
in.
it, you get 200 cool points.
White Thunder comes in destroying shit. Looks like
right.
Huh?
So yeah, so the family, the family's on their way to court to guess kind of settle up for what happened with the weapon and everything and the death. And so White Thunder comes in attacks the convoy.
I'm so mad.
And as you can see, so like in the panels, they say that everything is so loud that no one can understand anyone. The cops can't understand the cops, and the Hendersons or whatever their names are, they can't understand the cops. So in the panels, you can see everybody saying things, but there's nothing written there. So it's like that nobody can understand each other.
It is
all the
interesting.
Chaos and stuff like that,
no
right?
Words.
Yeah,
and these bubbles and the talk bubbles.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is the cops shoot the mother and father, thinking that they're trying to escape, and they're calling it an accident. The kids kind of get away. They grab the gun for some reason. Don't know why, but you know they're kids. They pick up the gun.
Oh wait, so pause. So the parents of the kids that had the gun got arrested because of the situation.
Because of the situation, right? And they're on their way to court. Apparently,
White Thunder comes.
White Thunder, yeah. So apparently he's supposed to be White Thunder. I believe his directives were to sort of like close off all the loose ends or whatever. So take out the family. But then they wind up. The mother and father wind up getting killed
by the
cops.
And it's a black family
be protecting them. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Supposed to be like protecting them on this ride there. But anyway, there's all this stuff about the family and stuff too. Like the cops feel a certain way. You kind of later on you find when we meet other characters, you find out that the general population sort of feels a certain way about this family. Like they blame them for what happened to him, and they kind of blame the kids too and whatnot.
Officer James McKibben, who fired the lethal shots, white man, first claimed that Simmons was trying to escape and disobeyed his command to stop, even though everybody knows you couldn't hear shit.
You couldn't, right? Exactly.
There's some brutal ass death they showing here too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this gets pretty rough.
Yeah.
This one gets pretty rough. So basically,
in front of the children, or
right.
Yeah. So the mom doesn't die at the scene. Mom dies they mentioned it. She don't see it, but she dies in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. So while this is happening, they're having a memorial service for those 3 people who died in the rubble.
In the rubble
right.
of the gun accidentally going off.
Right. Yeah. So that's where the cop friend, I forget it, Tommy and Black Lightning are there at the memorial service, and they talk about this church. I guess
hold up to get you caught up, J.Steel. In this version of the world, like you know how they got Henderson in the TV show as his partner.
Yeah.
Tommy is this chick that he grew up with. That's the police
kind of
detective, the Henderson of this world.
Yeah.
Also in this world, she hasn't met Lynn yet. Anissa's his cousin.
Oh, that's this one.
Yeah,
okay,
and there's
gotcha.
no Jennifer.
Right.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
And did we have a Gambi in Cold Dead Hands?
So
no
I think
Gambi,
we
right?
meet Gambi in this issue. Like I feel like he just kind of shows up. I don't remember seeing him before this, but at some point they kind of have the crew together in the lair or whatever.
It's kind of trippy to see this comic of them having a funeral after watching last episode.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's what I like. So I feel like this, and they kind of mentioned a couple other things too. I feel like this is sort of a shorthand for the show. Like, these guys were given the property of Black Lightning, I guess before the show was maybe really greenlit or something. And they were like, well, we want to do some original stuff. It's like, okay, cool, but we need people to be able to watch the show and read your comic book at the same time. You can do your original stuff, but they can't, this has to be like an alternate universe opposed to a just completely different thing.
Because year one is the show, damn. No. Year one, you can see how much they take from year one, I should say. Because the show doesn't follow year one beat by beat. Certain characters are kind of different, but it's way more easy to jump into from the show than this is.
Yeah,
honestly.
fair enough. Yeah, no. This is, you got to kind of keep in mind sort of what's what here. So it's but it's still fun. Like I'm really interested in this series. I was if it didn't release on time, I was gonna go buy the 4th issue physically myself. Yeah, just to finish it. Yeah, because I was really into it. So anyway, Tobias, what's happening here?
Is that Tobias?
Yeah, that's Tobias.
Yeah. Explain to her why this is not our Tobias.
It's not our Tobias. So apparently there are a couple people who have taken up the Tobias mantle or name, if you will, right? And he's supposed to be the original, and he's killed all the ones that have come before him. Now, we don't know what any of the ones who have come before him have looked like, but there have been more than one, so we imagine have been different imaginations. Or
I feel like it's like what you said earlier about how they got the property before the show was greenlit. So, and I think they tried to cover their asses because they probably wanted a certain aesthetic for their Tobias Whale or whatever, but it wasn't going to look like the original aesthetic. Right. So maybe they came up with that concept of Tobias Whale, the mantle, to cover their ass, so if someone reads it, they can come to their own conclusions about, it's probably a different one that we're seeing in the show. Yeah. That's probably why they played it like that.
Right. So this one, he's kind of, they're basically giving him the numbers on the sales and where they are. Guess where sells the most of these guns? So now I told you, they're doing them in mass productions. They're like smaller handheld now.
So he gets them from aliens then, because there's these aliens reading them these numbers.
Yeah, they're 4 different aliens, so they're giving them numbers on each state and everything. Texas sells the most, everybody. Surprise, surprise. Of course. What was the thing? Oh, yeah, okay, so later, we're about to find out, who White Thunder is. Boom, dang, I was kind of hoping we could reveal it a little slower, but,
like
it's like a lizard. It's like a man lizard.
Yeah, I wasn't going to guess that.
I wasn't ready.
No, nobody's going to guess that. No, that's what I'm saying.
Why is White Thunder a lizard?
I have no idea.
Originally, when you said that, my mind went to Asian.
Oh, did you really? Okay, fair enough.
It's an Asian person.
No, I thought white until you said something else, and I said, okay, they might try to be ironic and make him something. I would have given him.
This is human. This is the first time it felt like a comic when he took that mask off. This is where it's like,
nigga, the first time it felt like a comic to me is when his name was goddamn White Thunder.
It felt like something.
So we're gonna make Black Lightning's enemy
have to fight
White Thunder. Whoa, man, it's genius. Fuck out of here, man.
I feel like somebody mentioned that too at some point, but
I hope they do. You had come on.
But yeah, so he's basically telling him he's telling Tobias how he fumbled up the job. He was supposed to go clean up these loose ends, but they wind up getting killed by the cops by his surprise or whatever, right? So. He's like, he basically, Tobias is pissed because he's like, I sent you out to do a job and you didn't do the job. So, Mr. Chameleon Man, flips it on him and says, listen, what I did was inspire fear. These guys, now that the kids have the gun is dead, it can't do anything, but nobody knows. So the cops are going to be looking for these kids and they're probably going to shoot them on sight. Ooh. I mean, they're 2 black kids. They're probably going to shoot them on sight.
Oh, they said, oh, God.
I don't know exactly if he says it, but somebody at some point says they're 2 black kids.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to get shot on sight.
Oh, man.
So at some point, somebody says that. So maybe it wasn't him, but yeah. So anyway, Tobias is like, yeah, you know what? Okay, cool. You can live. You let him live, everybody.
Right.
Because you know what? We want fear.
We see, because here go one of the panels. Ad reports are for further violence. Blame both the dangerous young black men and the racist police.
This is Tobias speaking, giving orders.
Have our contingency plan in place Come on, computer, stop being a dick. Have my computer in place and send another large contribution to the NRA. Fear is always good for business. Mm-hmm.
Of course it is.
So now Black Lightning is... What is he doing now? He's just practicing right now, right. So they're in the lair and everything. Oh, so this is the first time they feel like brother and sister because they give him a new suit. Now, one of these guys makes a mention of not being an Italian tailor. So I'm like, okay, that's got to be in reference to Gambi.
Right.
So I feel like one of these guys...
It's not the big one.
It can't be him because he's the guy from last week. This is the new guy. This is the guy that says I'm not the Italian.
So they just kind of mentioning him.
So he's like, I'm no fancy Italian tailor,
Jeff.
But I made your ideas functional. So basically,
but damn, maybe it's not a Gambi shout out. What if they just being cute and meta?
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
I feel like it's maybe a shout out to the folks who are watching the show and reading it. But beyond that, probably nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't show Gambi. I feel like it's just for us people that to be like ha ha ha. They just made a Gambi reference. Okay.
But in here this is another thing when I was saying I feel like they what they did was they gave you little hints and stuff here for stuff that they didn't explain in the show. So remember how we always talked, well, at least the last couple times, I don't know, but once or twice we mentioned that they didn't exactly explain why you're right in front of his face, but you can't see it.
I mean, they use Jennifer.
They give you a little offline.
So it's like looking into a spotlight or something.
In terms of what they visually gave us to sort of represent that,
it
wasn't anything, right?
Yeah, and I kept saying they need to give us a visual for how he looks to other people, even for one scene.
Right. So in this, they kind of explain that now he has these glasses that basically makes it his face invisible to the untrained eye. He can't be photographed. Cool. He can't be caught on camera or anything like that. Right. So
they explain that. And the thing is, the show has been kind of showing just what you said. Because if you think about most times when he's around people, he makes his glasses do this thing that covers his eyes and they activate.
Oh yeah, he does.
I saw it specifically this episode.
Yeah, specifically. I feel like I saw it a few times in this episode. I didn't think about it in the others. It's gonna make me have to go back and see. But I know, in this past episode specifically, is why I know it's like, okay, it seems like when he goes around people, he does this thing with the eyes, and most likely he's been doing it. We probably weren't paying attention, so maybe that's the reference to this comic, but they're just not explaining it good enough in the show. But continue.
Or maybe they will.
Maybe they will. Right? Yeah.
Jennifer told us that. Jennifer told us that thing about it felt like looking in a spotlight, and you can't see his face.
Right.
So, like you saying, J.Steel, maybe they'll give us more and say it's on the glasses. Hopefully,
yeah.
Just haven't yet.
Yeah, maybe. But also, too, in this new suit, he can change the color. So if he's doing it in stealth, he can have a Superman. He makes some sort of reference, I think, to Superman, a brightest Superman. I think he said he can make it. Or he can go, all black for stealth missions and stuff like that. So he can change the color of his suit depending on, I guess the situation.
Yeah.
And what was the next thing that they do? So now they're back he should be back on the hunt to sort of find the kids. Oh, yeah, right. So do you remember the chick? She sort of backs up. So this, the Tommy, the equivalent to Henderson, she has a partner that apparently just sort of shows up here, and Tommy seems surprised to see her. It was a very weird exchange here. I can't quite explain it myself. You'd have to read it to maybe make sense of it. But she sort of shows up, invited, but to everyone else's surprise.
So what's the point of her?
I don't understand. She hands papers over to my man here, and but Tommy doesn't know why she's there. So anyway, it's cool. She's cool with Black Lightning. She's on his side. She says, if Tommy says you're cool with me.
With my black girl braids.
Mm-hmm,
right. And I can't remember what else happens there, but they have some sort of funny exchange. But anyway, now he's out on the prowl trying to find the kids because there's a APB. Oh yeah, I think they're saying that they're
They said you get a Blackmobile. And that's what that's been making me confused even watching the show. How the fuck is he getting around?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Does he fly? I mean, on this comic, I've seen him do something like flying where he uses the current to jump
up, right, yeah.
But we haven't been seeing any transportation from Jefferson, but he be getting the fuck around,
yo. Yeah, he does.
He really does.
Yeah. So he's, I forget where they are exactly. It's like a recreational center or something like that because...
Yep, recreation center. That's when it was last spotted.
Yeah.
That's what it was last spotted.
Kids are there. The cops show up, of course. Mm-hmm. And
ready.
Yeah, and they're the kids.
And they show the kids looking so scared.
They do.
Look what the kids say, though. Look what the kids say.
Don't shoot.
He's calling out to his brother. Yeah, he's just don't shoot. So of course, because the cops are, in full control of the situation,
they start shooting.
Fuck. So,
that's all they can do.
Yeah, and of course, just like in the last episode, Black Lightning shows up, jumps down, sort of gives us a force field, kills every bullet. So there's one lone cop. There's always one lone one. There's always one good one. Surrounded by the rest. Anyway, he comes up and says, he kind of tries to calm the situation down. Black Lightning kind of like, hey, you could have killed the kids. Da 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 da. No. I know. Now we're in control of the situation. Let me take control of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So look, let me talk to the kids. Let me take the kids. Boom, boom. Let me take the gun. So then I have the gun. Gun's dead. They find out that the gun's dead, but remember the feds keep coming in and taking the weapons before their guys can take a look at it. So they're trying to rush this to the lab to kind of get work done on it.
I like this little panel. The kids are crying, and the cop stoops down and says, "Look, kids, you have to come with me now, but no cuffs, okay? No cuffs." I like that little.
Yeah, that is a nice little touch.
Yeah, you got to come around to his side, actually. I can't, okay, you know what? Yeah, see, I knew that was going to happen. See, I think I'm thinking of the next issue. But anyway, let me just look at these panels so I remember which happened at the end of this one. So basically, they kind of have he says, oh, look, I got to take you in. He tells Black Lightning. Yeah, tells Black Lightning, you got to take me in.
Not happening,
sir. And, they kind of have a back and forth about that. And then if we scroll down, I believe we'll see, kaboom happens. Explode. Yeah, so of course, if Black Lightning's here, guess who else has got to show up?
White Thunder.
There you go, baby. So White Thunder comes with his crew.
He got a squad.
He has a crew.
He has a crew now. They all have jetpacks and stuff. So the cop that was cool. Now they got to get him out the way because Black Lightning's got to wreck some house, move some furniture around. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And that's the end of the issue. White Thunder gets there, and it's about to be a battle. And in the next issue, the battle ensues. I only read the first 2 pages, so I'm not going to jump too much into that. We'll just wait for next week on that one.
Wait for next week.
But it's I'm into this comic. I want to see where it goes. It's so much so it's enough of the show and enough of its own thing that I can actually have both of these things at the same time in my head. And without really having a problem.
Right, which is a good thing because that way you don't have to compare.
Right, exactly.
And you can individually enjoy each one without having to compare.
See, I'm a weirdo. I will compare. Every time you go over one of these comics, bro, I be pissed off. It's such a departure from what I'm used to. Because like I said, my year one is like my show. Anissa being his cousin, him having a lizard villain named Goddamn White Thunder is bothering me, man.
Yeah, it's like an alternate universe,
The thing that I like, but the thing is, I like all the human aspects. You feel me? I like the cop situations. I like the metaphors they're going with the guns and such. There's a lot I do like about this comic as well. I give you that.
When you said something, I think like the very first time we went over this, when I started with this one and you started with yours, you said that yours felt like it was written by a black person. And that when we were looking at mine, that it didn't feel like it was written by a black person.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't even think about that until you said it. And then, like, once you said it, I started reading it through different eyes, and I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, probably. I feel like there's somebody there now. There's at least one black person that at least maybe runs through the dialogue that's like, I wouldn't say this. But, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, yeah, you're right. I think I have to actually look it up. But
I mean, we got to look it up because for all we know, they might be written by all white people.
Might be right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I've read many comic books where there have been white writers that have written some great dialogue for black people. And I've seen some black writers write some awful dialogue for black people because sometimes the black writers try too hard. And I'd be like, say, bro, just have them talk normal. Sound like, throwing a bra every now and then or something. Fuck.
Right.
But I think Cold Dead Hands would be so much better if his name wasn't White Thunder. That's too comic booky to be a new villain.
That's just so...
Well, you know what made me forgive it? When he took his mask off, I was just like, well, y'all can call him whatever y'all want.
But no, that's my second thing. That's my second thing. He would be more formidable and more... I don't like him being a lizard. Like, I don't know. I've got used to Black Lightning in this real world with these real situations with him, even though he's Black Lightning, that I can take a super-powered human-looking motherfucker, but the moment he took off that mask and he was a lizard, I stopped taking him as seriously as I would have taken if he was like a blue-eyed blonde or a Japanese person or Arab or whoever the fuck you want to, wherever way you want to go with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I took anything else. I never
anything human, because the human, like if he was a powerful human being, you feel me? That makes me feel more like I'm still in a somewhat realistic something. I know when he looks cool, and the thing is, the costume cool.
Costume looks cool.
The White Thunder costume's cool.
I feel like he needs that
logo?
Costume. No, I feel like he needs that costume to fly, to project his white thunder. I feel like he doesn't really have.
Is he a lizard?
So that's what I'm saying. So what's the point of being a lizard then?
That's my problem.
Yeah.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. See, I would take anything else. I don't understand why he had to be a lizard on top of not having no other special abilities.
I would have made him an android if nothing else. Make him a robot. That would have been something.
Know. Maybe we'll find out more.
Make him a robot and the whole thing could have just been him. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I could take that.
Fuck this.
But yeah.
But you recommend it though?
Oh hell yeah! No, most definitely, I recommend it. Cold Dead Hands. That was 2 frightened kids, 1 deadly weapon.
All right, so go check out. Well, J.Steel say don't check out Black Lightning issues 1 and 2.
I didn't say don't check it out. Check it out, but just
go in knowing
your own risk.
That it's different.
Know that it's dated.
Yeah, it's very dated.
Just know that it's dated.
This is the comic books your dad, uncles, and stuff would have in their
attic. You need a little
kind
magnifying
of
glass too, and a lot of patience. You need about 2 hours.
Get under the blankets and covers and grab a flashlight. Yeah, read it that way.
And mine was Black Lightning Year 1, issue number 2. Now we about to get into the episode proper. Woo! Let's get into Black Lightning, season 1, episode 4, Black Jesus.
Black Lightning's back.
If I could make people pay for what they did, that'd be a good thing, right?
The city is under attack, and we're losing. You only lose if you stop fighting.
What he's doing is heroic.
I can do this all night long. Black Lightning.
So as we start again, as usual, with the
the audacity of this show. I have 2 intros.
Now, one thing I noticed about maybe watching it back, because I watched it back recently with a partner of mine.
Okay.
And there's 2 different flashbacks that happen. There's one flashback where he made the promise that he wouldn't do it again. Mm-hmm. Then there's another flashback where he broke that promise, and that's when she decides to leave.
Right, okay.
And that's the one where she has Anissa.
Yeah.
Anissa saw him beaten up and was like, "Daddy, what happened?" And then that's when she takes her daughter away.
Right.
For some reason, I thought that all happened at the same time. For some reason, the first time I watched them. So seeing it it kind of goes into.
I think one time we actually saw the flashback, and then this time they just sort of threw that bonus one in that we had never seen.
No, what I'm
before,
seeing
right?
is I saw it. Like I
you
watched
saw
them
that?
back.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay.
You hear me? No, that one with that shit with him shocking people, bald headed and shit. No, I don't know what the fuck that comes from. No, I'm talking about when he's talking to her
in the tub.
In the tub.
Right.
There's another thing of him. Basically, he lied. And she's saying, "I'm going for real this time." And I think we said that once. We said that maybe because we was wondering like, what's this timeline? Like, what made her leave? And we was saying like maybe he told her in the tub that he was giving it up, but he went back. He went back, and that's what they showed did happen. That he went back on his word, and that's what made her legitimately leave him.
Right.
You feel me? And from that point on, he basically had been fighting to get her trust back by not doing it. You feel me? And I want to say this. I want to get this off my chest before we get into the episode.
Man credit before we even start.
Yes, you know what I'm about to say.
Because you predicted it.
Oh,
you predicted it.
I said we gonna get some evil Khalil in the house.
You did.
I said it.
You did.
I said it.
You predicted it.
It was.
And when your girl mentioned it, I'm like, oh, they're gonna mention it. Then you're gonna watch you do it. Then oh my god,
yes,
really? He's gonna melt the fuck out of this.
I didn't see that coming at all.
I did.
Really?
Guess who did? Guess who did though?
You mentioned it. And I was like, I hope not. And sure enough,
I just didn't even like.
That's exactly what he went.
I really thought he was just gonna be the innocent cripple. That's the motivation.
The innocent cripple.
He's the innocent catalyst.
The motivation.
Yeah.
Tiny Tim, huh?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, fuck
God
that.
blesses
For them
everyone.
to kick ass.
Right.
No, but what's the
or
point?
I thought he was gonna die. Right. And I see that now, but I really did not see that coming.
Dude, like we were saying from the dump,
coming.
if he gonna die, he had to have a few more episodes for us to really fall in love with him some more. Right. But no, they paralyzed him. If you're gonna paralyze him, you might as well kill him. If you ain't gonna kill him, you kept him alive for a reason. And I don't see no richer reason than to have Jennifer's love have beef with her dad, who's Black Lightning. It's just so CW.
Right, it is. It's very CW.
He's so CW.
It's very
so as soon as we gonna get to it, but as soon as old girl gave him that idea, I was like, in some kind of way, I bet you're gonna figure out some way to get him some powers or how to do something.
He's
they
gonna have something, some kind of evil mechanical wheelchair or some.
I see it.
They gonna like the Lex Luthor legs.
Basically,
man. Remember that cat from the Spider-Man animated series show, the one that made the weapons? He was always in the fucking wheelchair. He made all them thick ass Spider-Man robots to go kill Spider-Man and shit.
I don't remember that dude.
No.
Oh man, see that's a deep cut. I'm trying to think what's his
name.
Because at some point he becomes like a villain himself, and you don't have to be in his wheelchair no more because he gets injected with some shit, and then he winds up being able to be like this powerful motherfucker. But anyway, as we get into this episode, it starts, Principal Pierce in this bitch, and the kid's like, man, somebody bathroom wigging the fuck out, and I'm like, dog, I kind of tripped because this was a different start for for the episodes from what we were used to from the series. It seemed just different or whatnot. And they got the kid Bernard just wigging the fuck out on these drugs. And it got to the point where he had to shock this nigga, bruh. Like, them drugs was giving niggas superpowers, which might figure into Khalil later because these drugs probably gonna trace back to Lady Eve and them. In some kind of way, we might get some super soldier shit happening with Khalil might get addicted to these drugs and be powerful and shit. Because look how this nigga... It's just he yanked.
He hopped him up. Yeah.
He yanked the urinal. He yanked the urinal off the wall.
Yeah. Like that's but you
he had to get shot.
Eventually there's an epidemic. Like everybody eventually is using these drugs, or at least there's a couple of people, more than just this one kid. So are all of them like ripping toilet seats out of the frame? Like,
yep.
Or yeah,
I'm taking it like that because
like,
at the end of
they
the
have
day,
no mention of super strength from any of the rest of them.
Because they all die.
They all kind of they all OD.
Right.
So that's the caveat. So you don't have to get that mention. They all die.
Yeah, and they kind of mentioned that it's addictive.
Like to our next level, we get to that level.
By the time you really get, you really start taking it, like it's so potent that you're basically on your way out.
You're done,
Kinda
dog.
like
One hit.
Dude.
So that dude did a good job at this acting, dog. And freaking, Black Lightning had to shock the fuck out of him. Because at first I'm thinking like, damn son, he have to use your powers in school, nigga. What you gonna do? And no, I'm like he had to really use them. But of course, if you on drugs, that nigga wasn't gonna remember it anyway. So, he covers everybody.
Even if he
on
does,
drugs. Deny. And we in the car with Anissa, and Anissa, of course, she's a teacher at the school at Garfield or whatnot, and she sees some of her students with these drug dealer cats. And I was laughing with J.Steel because the actor that plays one of the freaking drug dealer cats, at my last callback, I saw him. He about to play a significant role in that movie I told you I got booked in.
Okay.
I laughed when I saw him because I just had like a conversation with him, like we were just running about a bunch of shit. And
which one?
Him right here.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, damn, look at your boy. You hear me? Playing gangsta on Black Lightning. Get it in, homie. So Anissa get these drug dealers together. What y'all thought was gonna happen here?
I kind of thought it was gonna play out the way it did. Like I thought she, and even
daylight, I didn't see anything else happening. But besides her kind of showing her dick and being like, yo.
Oh yeah.
Chill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all look like some CW thugs too, though. Like no offense to the homie though, but like neither one.
Oh
of you
yeah,
niggas,
man.
They're very clean cut and polished.
He looks like Tiger's PG cousin.
You know what I mean? And that's what gets me. I'm like, dude, like, come on, y'all. Like, when you look at Tobias, there's an air of danger. Yeah. Even his sister, when she comes later, she seemed like somebody. I love the entry for her, but she seemed like a chick that'll whoop that ass.
She does.
Every time I see some wannabe thug on here, it's like some pretty boy cat, man. I'm like...
Wait, we talked about...
these two wannabe...
Lady Eve, you were saying...
No, I'm comparing... No, well, Lady Eve's introduction was amazing, too. But I'm talking about the introduction to Tobias' sister that comes later.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love her intro, like, because at first I'm like, who the fuck is this?
I did, too.
I thought I missed something, like, who is this? They just giving this random person that I don't know.
Did I miss a flashback?
Right, like, all this camera time and these slick-ass cuts, and she's driving. I'm like, okay. So, but we're going to get to her anyway. But I'm saying she had an instant air of danger about her. And a lot of these little CW thugs that they be getting don't. Like, even when he called her a bitch, I'm like, man, she could come back around here with her cousin from New Orleans and have you fucked up, nigga.
Right.
You hear me?
Like, that's sort of everybody's bullet in this show. Like, that's all the males' bullets in the show. Yeah, it's bitch.
Yeah.
That's like anytime, and then like all of them like sort of meet their demise would do it though. It's really funny. But it's like all of them, like the thug that comes, CW Thug Prime.
CW Thug Prime.
Yeah, who comes in? He like his venom is that, and then I don't know. I feel like it's just gonna. Oh, dang! What's there another? I feel like there was another one. I can't remember it, but anyway, it just feels like that's like it's gonna be an ongoing theme, sort of like throughout the show.
What is we have a black woman here? Isn't that one of the most crazy? Like, isn't that an instant trigger?
It is.
Does it trigger like that though? Like, yeah. Still anymore? Okay, fair enough. All right.
Especially,
okay. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, man,
All
that's
right,
definitely an instant trigger to get your ass kicked or to get some. Yeah.
A nigga still using it. It's like it's not going nowhere, and they gonna keep getting their asses kicked.
Even within the context of like, I mean, certain people say it to you, like your girlfriends or whatever. It's cool, but there's just so many things associated with that word that tie into keeping women down and suppressing women that just, it's definitely a trigger.
And these niggas instantly just did not show her no respect.
No respect at all. So to be disrespectful as hell, y'all out here selling drugs, doing all this shit. And then you hit me with the bitch, like, nah.
I didn't even do you nothing.
I don't even know you. I don't even know you.
So we over here
definitely asking for it.
Black Lightning holler at he hollering at Alfred Fox.
Alfred Fox.
That's exactly who he is.
And I keep on being like,
so and so.
Why is he so excited? Like he owe Black Lightning the debt or something. Like he so wants to be a superhero so bad. He's so ready to do things at all times, dog.
What's going on in there? What's going on in there,
Something
man? Because my man is doing some next level shady stuff with no explanation whatsoever.
He has a greater purpose. There's more.
Oh, is there? Oh my
think
goodness. So. Okay, because I can't wait. I'm hoping I still feel the same way about him at the end. Like now, I don't know how to I don't know how to feel about him.
So he just had what they was talking about? They talking about the drugs. Oh yeah, because he basically went out at me about how powerful the drugs are and to find out more about them because what they call them, green light. That's the name of it.
Yeah, green light.
And it's nuts. So this next scene we got Black Lightning kicking somebody's ass to find out information, and I think this is gonna start to become funnier and funnier bits of seeing Black Lightning and these guys that he has to whoop their ass for information because this person tried to make a little deal with him. And then later with the funny deal with the nigga, he had the two bits who got to whip his ass.
Oh, yeah.
So I think moving forward, we're going to get more and more of these funny-ass interrogation scenes with niggas being like, hold up, Black Lightning, bro. But whoop-de-whoop, because even just now, he like, oh, he hit me so hard.
Please don't hit me.
Don't shock me no more.
It's like, I like his reasoning, though. I like how he's like he's coming from it. Like he's not like he's coming from like a superhero as a black man. He's coming from it like as a black man. Like when he makes that deal later on, that's not a deal. I believe
Superman would
convince not even
or
Superman.
Batman.
You couldn't have convinced Arrow that deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have convinced him to do that. It's like, oh no, you're either gonna eat this arrow or you're gonna go to jail. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna it'd be one or the other. It wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Black Lightning, but even how he talks to people. Black Lightning, like he just seemed like he just happens to have a mask on. He seemed like a dude that's like, yeah, bruh. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, well, you better tell me. Like, I've heard so many. I've heard more bruhs on this show than I've heard on any show I've ever watched.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Including Luke Cage.
Oh yeah,
you hear me?
Sure.
Nigga, they said, all right, bruh.
Yeah.
Hey, bruh. I'm gonna whoop that ass, bruh. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not bro. It's bruh. It's how we talk.
We black.
This scene here with Jill Scott. Lady Eve.
This scene
Bruh.
already for me, I'm like, okay, badass woman with your pearls on and your all black and your beat face and your black lip and your contour and you up here and whip.
Spell it out for him, girl. Spell it out for him.
I thought it was her embalming a body, but then we have that reveal at the end, and I'm like, oh
whoa!
My God. Like, what is she really on? And then on top of that, what is going on?
Because I just took it as all right. She works as a mortician.
I rewinded that bad boy. I was like, I gotta watch this again. Wait, was he moving the whole time?
The whole time.
And I'm like, he kind of starts moving at the end, but it's like they give you like one shot of him like completely still, and then eventually it's just
starts to move like
well, you don't know.
And what's trippy about the scene is the entire time that Lady Eve is. We thinking that she freaking embalming fluid, doing some shit with a dead body when it's like we all talking. Like, it's a live person she's torturing, basically.
She works for the Blackbird Funeral Home.
While she's completely emasculating the biggest, baddest force on the show.
I mean, it's super symbolic.
we already know that Lady Eve is a problem.
Yeah.
And we got hinted at in the very first episode. Black Lightning didn't even talk to this lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the very first episode, somebody at that fundraiser for his ass, that thing said, hey, you want to talk to Miss Eve? He was like, oh,
she was a major contributor.
And he was like, yeah, I kind of know her. Let me go this way. He's like, I don't want to fuck with her. 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 And you got these 2 twins in the back. That's her bodyguards. I know they must be some badass niggas if they, 1, her bodyguards, and 2, they don't say shit. They just still in the back. I just feel like when we finally see them go off, them niggas gonna go in. And here we go to the part where, as she continues to tell Tobias, like, yeah, nigga. Oh, no, and the biggest part about this is she telling this nigga, look, bruh, your rep is suspect. You said that you killed this nigga, and this nigga still out here. And you making me not even want to fuck with you because I don't know if I could trust you, homie. You better get it together.
Is that stuff, that conversation that they have about the albino magic? Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's a stereotype, and it's a true thing about people. Some people thinking albinos were magical. Motherfuckers who do all kind of fucked up shit to them. They got a bad stereotype in that regard in certain countries and shit. It's crazy, dog. Like, look up that... Okay. Some people think they're just evil devils. Yeah. All kind of shit that come with the albino shit, which is why it's so interesting that Tobias is an albino.
Okay.
Feel me? Enough. So we get to the scene where Bernard looking normal and his pops looking like a dad that just want to get his kid together, man.
Right.
And like, we don't get into what made him get on this drug, but we get once again a very, like, one beautiful thing about Jefferson Pierce is that he really wants to help people. It's not about putting you in jail. Right. It's not about getting you in trouble. It's about helping you where you are. Mm-hmm. Now, if you refuse that help and such like that, well, then you gotta get your consequences. But in this scene, you really see like what you see in the comic books that we've been reading, especially in mine, where they really get into him being the principal and him knowing everybody. It's the same difference here. Was like he give him that daddy talk, and I love that little part where he's like, "I'm not about to snitch." Principal Pierce and his dad said, "Yes, you are, boy."
Oh, I love that
because. Yeah. They show that he's a good student. He already accepted in like 4 colleges and shit. And his dad being like, look, man, don't put him out, man. He got college offers. He just made a fuck up. And that's some real shit. Too many times we look at the news, we look at the media, it seemed like for black kids, for black boys, for us, it's like, fuck them. They just thugs. We don't get the, I made a bad decision that night, but look, my overall, if you look at the whole of me, dude, I'm way more layered and I deserve more than one chance. And I love that they showed that here, dog. You feel me? It was just beautiful. And one thing that what y'all took from that scene? I just talking my ass off.
I like that scene because it really shows his humanity. Like you said, it shows that he really does care and give a damn. And it's not just about the glory and being a superhero and kicking ass. And it's about hitting the low-scale threats. You know what I'm saying? The threats that surround the people in his school, the community, the things that are going on in the streets. And I really like that he has a sense of... he's kind of like a homegrown superhero. He's very human. We can relate to him. He's more hero than super many times. Right. And even still, I want to say something about this chick, but even still with that, it goes back to what he was talking about on one of his previous episodes, feeling like he saved more people as the principal of Garfield High than he ever did as Black Lightning, even though he doesn't know if that's a lie to himself or not. One thing that he can say is he hopes that, I'm a teacher, and I know that feeling that you, like he said it, he wants you to be better than you left him. And getting Bernard now stops him from becoming Lala later. And that's what you can see is the through line of him trying to save him as kids so he ain't got to kick their ass when he has Black Lightning. You hear me? Right. Let me get together right now, boy, because that even happens in this episode to a degree. But what you saying, Marty?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you probably just I echo everything that you two just said about the earlier part of the scene. The latter part, I think, is maybe the thing that I took the most from. Me too. I'm gonna see the interaction between. Oh, well, the interaction between. So we finally get her. I don't know if she's actually said it out loud before this moment, but we finally we know that like she's the vice principal. Yeah.
Vice principal McDotty.
When she said that, I really had a moment. I'm like, wait, is this the first time we found this out? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if she said it before, but yeah,
I don't remember ever saying it. You don't remember it either. Yeah, I just assumed it.
So yeah, right. That's
the way she was around. There's certain things that they would be doing. I'm like, she ain't the vice principal. She must be his secretary. And I'm glad that she said, nigga, I'm not your secretary. Right. I'm the vice principal. Right. Handle your business.
That was dope. But also too, before that, I think, well, maybe a little bit before, because there's maybe like a small exchange they have before, like the kid and the dad leave. But it's sort of, you kind of get an idea. I don't know if it's. I feel like it was in the scene that where her morals are more so she's not fighting for the school. Oh no, she's fighting more so for the school, not for the kids.
And in this scene and on this episode as a whole, even her flirtations now, I'm starting to see. I feel like that character is one to watch. She want his spot. I feel like even her flirtations is a move. I'm starting to see this more and more.
Do you still see a triangle?
Nope.
No, not anymore.
If it's a
you
triangle,
see triangle now.
If it's a triangle,
it's a different sort of.
Let's say if they do a triangle, her methods are for devious purposes, man. Because like in this episode, like think about every other episode she's ever been on. What has been her purpose? She just been around, flirt a little bit.
I was about to say to flirt with him and make him feel special.
That's about it, right? Dog, that's about it.
I feel like
and he in half the time he don't even take up on it. He don't even take it.
He's just like, all right, okay, whatever.
I feel like for the most part that she's sort of kind of taking care of whoever the founders or the donation people are, whoever those people are.
Watch though, man. What has she been doing?
Other than that, yeah, nothing. No, nothing.
Outside of walking in his office and flirting with him,
and showing that ass.
She ain't did.
Just kind of have. She does have a bit of a stroll.
Just that ass. Just showing that ass. That's all I would remember.
A stroll about her is that sort of just draws your eye naturally. There,
nigga. Her tagline is, "If you need help for anything," she said it damn every episode. If you need for anything, and I mean she repeats it, and I mean anything.
I've been here for 20 years. I know where all the staplers are. I got this. But no. He ain't gonna say that.
Nah, nigga.
But, yeah.
It was in this episode that it really stuck out to me. Like, wait, I see where she can go. Like, once again, her character is gonna try to usurp him because even in this episode, he brought up the fear of, I think the board trying to put me out here and replace me with somebody. They're gonna most likely replace me with somebody who has no connection to his kids. Well, you don't see this vice principal McDottie here has a connection. She works there. She can angle in a manner to be like, I'm an easier person to work with than him because I know what needs to be done. Because she didn't have no compassion for Bernard, just like that white lady had no compassion for Bernard. She was just about them numbers, like you said. It was about the school over the kids. So now I'm starting to feel like, motherfucker, you flirting to get in good to set this man up on some shit. You just trying to do power out. You read the 48 laws, nigga. You trying to flip it on my nigga, my nigga Scooter. You trying to go Khadijah on my dog, bruh.
Scooter lightning.
You trying to go Khadijah on my dog, and the Jefferson won't have it. You feel me? So it's just, I'm glad to see, once again, from her and Khalil, they were characters that could have just been minor throwaway characters, and I'm seeing that y'all gonna do some more things with them, and we're gonna have some interesting lefts and rights, ups and downs, and I see it. I see it.
Yeah, what's unfortunate is that he doesn't.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
You don't see it coming.
He doesn't
Jeff
see it
does not see it happening.
And it's coming.
So right now he gives a call. I think he ended up Alfred Fox, who seems to be everywhere at all times.
He's always ready.
Yeah, it's in a creepy way though.
In like a weird kind of Liam Neeson, but a little more sinister kind of way.
Yeah, it's like, do I want this guy following me? Do I want him having my six?
He like Liam Neeson, little brother that wish he had a certain set of skills.
But secretly,
right. So if his parents, it's like his family got abducted, and he couldn't do that. And then he heard Liam Neeson family got abducted, and Liam Neeson got his family back. So he just always be by himself thinking and wishing like, damn, nigga, I wish I could have got. I had a certain set of skills.
Right.
I have a particular smaller set of skills.
Sure, man. And so I think he just learned what he had to learn because he had to, dog. But that's how you give up, because he don't get in the field. Liam Neeson kicking the ass.
Right.
But this dude is always he's
Gamby set up roadblocks.
He's always ready.
Gamby is 2 steps away from getting kidnapped.
I
mean, Gamby's gonna we're gonna send him on one mission, and Gamby's gonna get too close, and the next thing you know, pop.
But here go the other side too. You're right. No, you're right. He's right. But I want to throw this other side out too, my nigga. Gamby is Batman on the slick as well as Alfred, because he's ahead of everybody, I think.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem for everyone else but him.
Why though?
I don't know. We don't know. That's the beauty of
that's my big issue with Gamby. It's maybe he has some sort of noble reason that he's working through all of this.
I think he does. Maybe. I think he thinks he does. At least.
I mean, you probably have a little more insight because of your comic book.
No, I don't think it hasn't.
No, you don't think so? Oh, no. Oh,
next week when we get to issue 3, you're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Right.
And his the thing that's suspect about Gambi in the comic books is really more of a poor decision that he made a secret he never told the truth about. And he's kind of been paying penance for.
Okay.
On here, no, he's just doing shady shit. Like, and on the last episode, but once again, I understand the shady shit on this one, on the last episode of maybe with that, because once again, we don't know what happened between Tobias and Black Lightning and Jefferson. So maybe he's trying to, because remember, Tobias killed Jefferson's dad. He even said that shit in one of the other episodes. He said, literally, he made my dad eat his words.
Right.
He said the shit. So, like, and so I could see Alpha Fox being like, look, man, let me protect him from himself. Let me not let him see that Tobias is out here walking and around. So once again, he's trying to, but once again, that's not his secret. That's not his secret to carry. But I can see his reasoning for that.
Yeah. Okay.
This episode, I can see a similar thing where maybe he like, let me figure out what's up with this situation before Daddy do. Because once Daddy get into it, it might not go well, as we can see based off of how he dealing with the other daughter. You know what I mean? We're going to get to all that later. But
yeah, Your Honor, Your Honor, defense has no questions. I'm cool. I'm good for now. I'm gonna wait for his witness. I'm good. No question.
I'm just saying, I'm seeing where you come from.
I hear your argument for him, and it's I can see that. But when there's another moment that happens where it's like, well,
I mean, they're giving us a reason to not trust him.
Yes,
and what I'm saying is, right now, he has legs to stand on to still come across noble. But I have a strong feeling that as we move forward, there are going to be more things that we're going to be like, wait, Gambi, now how you?
What are you really up to, sir?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How you going to explain that one?
Right.
Huh?
I see that coming.
Yeah, because even this one on this ep is a little suspect. You grabbed the gun. And then we're going to get to that later. So anyway, Gambi and Jefferson had a conversation. Basically, Jefferson found out a name for the drug dealer from Bernard. But when Gambi go see about that nigga already dead. And that's when we found out these numbers of all these motherfuckers ODing. Like, they got like 30 bodies and shit. Like, it's crazy. And Jefferson like, okay, we're going to find out more. We're going to handle this. And we get to Khalil physical therapy. And once again, man, this was a troubling scene because, you know, your boy, he trying to get together, and we see the nurses wind up talking about him behind his back like, that boy ain't gonna walk till he hear that shit. And I love that Jennifer's there for him.
When I heard it, she wouldn't open the door. Yeah. I mean, granted, they still shouldn't have been standing
right outside.
I know, like right there, loud as
like,
hell.
Yeah, but it's like, well, you did kind of swing the door open and just sort of listen. I mean, you know, yeah, very unprofessional.
I like the black girl, boy.
Yeah,
I just always think about all these like just black shit when I watch this, even when they're not trying to be like hairstyles included. You hear me? What you do? Your man was paralyzed, J.Steel.
You said, what would I do?
If you was in Jennifer's position,
I'd do exactly what she's doing right there. I would be there for him.
Making that smile.
Making
that smile, breaking down in the
hallway.
Oh,
y'all mean like, okay, never mind. Like if I found out that he was never going to walk again.
I mean, they're throwing that out.
No. My brain went to what would happen if he had an accident. No.
Man, I think she really think about that dick in this scene. Oh my God, his dick don't work. Okay, I'm being facetious.
Yeah, I mean that.
But that makes the scene different watching it on mute if you think that's the stakes.
I think she's probably made a peace with that by now.
I mean,
probably.
There's so many different emotions with that. Yeah, my brain would go there.
I was just playing about the sex thing, and you actually took me serious. How can dick do with that dick?
I mean, listen, they were about to she was about to lose her virginity next Friday. So I'm like, I'm sure she's at least thought about it once.
Thought about it, like, oh my God, you can't walk in.
You can't fuck. Or you might can't fuck. Because that's a curious thing.
He was walking just now, though, wasn't he?
He was
He had support. He had like a harness.
He had support, yeah.
Oh, so he wasn't like walking as far as himself.
Not himself.
Because I know eventually they're like, no, it's
typically, if your spinal cord is severed, everything below the waist is null and void.
And below the waist is your dick, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what
So how do paralyzed people have sex, man? Like, I understand they can still pleasure other people, but if they're not feeling pleasure, it's like, what is that? Or you don't have any receptors down there, right?
I mean, I don't know.
have any kind of educated nice thing.
All right, moving on. Next one. This is a very.
Just being honest.
Me too. Shit, I don't want to get too deep into the dark territories of that.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
So
you probably don't want me talking.
Shouts out to Erica the Observer, who can only imagine the many things that Marty could be saying right now.
Right,
that's why your show has safe words, right?
Exactly why. We are not there, so I will not act up.
So this is an interesting shot of Tobias Well punching the doctor in the face.
Yeah.
The mortician in the face. He don't give a fuck who face gets punched, and we get to see his other henchmen. It's like from episode to episode, we trade out henchmen, and this time we have the Joker looking guy. What you need?
That filter that was in that one.
I don't know what I did with
No, it's over. No,
this.
No room. Nope, don't worry about it. It's all
Anyway,
good. What are we talking about here, though? Yes. Don't worry about it. You're all
But
good.
like, yeah, man, Tobias is beating the shit out the mortician, the doctor dude who told him that Black Lightning was dead, and now he's saying, well, I thought you was dead. You should have been dead. I mean, anybody who fell from that water is dead. And that's when I would have got pissed off too. Like, wait a minute, son. There's a difference between. Say it again.
You lied.
What? You in Tobias' position? What you saying, son?
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Wait. How does he know who Black Lightning is? Okay, so yeah, we pulled the body out of the river, and we gotta run that DNA or something, right?
Deep.
Something.
No, now you're getting too deep because technically
It's sort of like, well, at that point, if he verified that Black Lightning is dead, he should give you a name of a person who shouldn't be showing up to work on Monday.
Right. Now that's
You know what I'm saying?
that's plot
That
hole.
is true.
That's plot hole.
That's plot hole. Okay,
That's
all right, fair enough.
Technically, nobody really knows who Black Lightning is.
Because that's like saying
some
if
kind of reassurance
that like he's dead, but so what is his?
he
That's what I'm saying.
said
He doesn't really have
from the height
reassurance
that
here.
Black Lightning fell,
He's like, look,
Black
a
Lightning
body-
should have been dead, and then a body came in that matched the description of basically a tall ass black man.
So what else was he supposed to do?
And since that tall ass black man was dead, just like he think Black Lightning should have been,
Yeah,
he told Tobias that must be him. So I get what you're saying.
I'm like, Tobias, if you didn't ask for a name,
So I get what you're saying. You're
can't be mad at
saying
me
you
now.
sticking up for the doctor. You basically
yeah, I'm
saying
just like, you
what
can't be
else?
mad at me. You didn't
What
verify.
do
You
you
didn't
want?
run
Like-
this
But
verification.
nigga, like your boy Tobias said, did it look like he's from Earth, Wind, Fire? Did it look like
Maurice
Maurice
White. That was a really funny line.
Nigga.
And it looked like Maurice White.
Did it look like? So, nigga, if a nigga in a Black Lightning costume did not stroll through this motherfucker, you shouldn't have been telling me that you saw
that's a
a
dead
dead Black
giveaway.
Lightning.
Right,
No,
right,
you saw a
right.
dead nigga in a box get burnt. That's what you saw, nigga. A dead nigga in a box. And you white man just made me mad because now you just said all these niggas looking like whether they wear the Black Lightning costume or not. That's Black Lightning. He tall, he black, he dead. Must be him. Yeah, give me the money. Then he took money. He took money, son. No,
That's
son.
up.
He deserved this beating that this weird jokery looking nigga gave him.
I think everybody deserves a slap on the hand for this. I think everybody deserves a slap
I
on the
mean,
hand.
I appreciate
Okay, fair enough.
I also
I hear
appreciate
it, though.
that Lady Useless, that's what I'm gonna call her.
Lady Useless, the chick who can't shoot?
She had to take a time out on this episode, if you noticed.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Time out, bitch. I said shoot that electrified fool. You paralyzed a kid and you shot the Reverend after I said I ain't want to martyr nobody.
Did I ever get an answer for how the bullet goes through Black Lightning, hits the Reverend, and then hits the kid behind him?
This is what I'll give you.
Yeah, okay.
And
fair enough.
most people, whether I read a review or listen to a podcast, I give them this.
What they say?
They most likely have higher piercing rounds because they know that his suit is bulletproof. So they already know that if they're going to shoot Black Lightning, whatever kind of bullet they got is most likely the kind that'll go through motherfuckers. So that's why I'll give them it going through the Reverend, then going through the boy. I'll give you that just based off the fact that you're trying to shoot Black Lightning or niggas of that caliber.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You trying to pierce through armor, you got armor piercing rounds. Armor piercing round will go through an old ass Reverend and maybe hit somebody. But how the fuck did you miss Black Lightning, big 6'9" ass?
That's
where I'm at.
Right.
He didn't say he
That's
phased.
ridiculous.
He didn't say he moved out the way because that would be not heroic. That's why she's Lady Useless. That nigga said shoot, and the nigga was standing there. Nigga, okay, that's last episode. That's last episode.
That's what. That's
last
episode.
episode.
We don't want to do that. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
I'm not going to go down it.
You don't.
But once again, they beat this man to death because this white man couldn't get his niggas together. And now we move into Jennifer getting home. And I was on Jennifer's side in this scene with her parents trying to check her.
Yeah, I feel like her parents were being way too harsh. Like, damn, like I almost lost my damn boyfriend and we can't even have sex 9. His everything is limping. Like, let me be there for him. Like, he could have died. Like,
y'all know what's up. Yeah.
Right.
I thought he was. I thought Jefferson was being unreasonable.
Yeah. Especially since you're the reason that man got shot.
But he seems to be in every other aspect though, and as you brought to light, in every other aspect, he seems to be very, very reasonable, very logical in his way of thinking and how he goes about things. And this one is just sort of like, I need you to stay away from him, like forever.
It's kind of like do what we say. You need to focus on your. Dude just almost died. Like he just took a whole bullet.
Okay,
I don't know, man.
I still think he was being logical, but he was being logical in the wrong lane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because logically, he wants his daughter to not quit the. You know what I mean? I see why he put those pieces together, but he's not letting the actual emotion and context of the situation be. She almost lost her boyfriend, like legitimately. He's paralyzed now. He's in the hospital. She went to go see him. You hear me? And you just being extra. And once again, I feel like your Black Lightning side need to take in like, nigga, he got shot because some niggas were trying to shoot you.
Right.
Maybe he hasn't realized that. I don't think. Maybe he thinks they meant to shoot because Lady Useless is so shitty at shooting. Maybe he really believes that they intended to shoot the Reverend, and that's why he ain't taking no guilt on that.
Right.
Or maybe he's wondering how he could be standing in front of the Reverend and he gets shot. And
he's Black Jesus. Remember, he's Black Jesus.
He literally
he's motherfucking Black Jesus.
I don't know how the bullet goes through. I don't know.
And Jennifer says she won't quit the track team, and that's he a track nigga, so of course he ain't with that. And she like only did track because of dad. And Mama comes reasonable and say, how about this? Think for a couple of days. If you really want to still do it, you could quit track. She trying to quit track to have more time to spend with Khalil to be down and be there for him and such. So that ends like fucked up.
I was actually a little relieved, honestly. Like, granted, I don't like the friction between the family because I like it when there's synergy there. Yeah. But when she had that sort of breakdown in the hallway, I kind of thought she was like, oh well. I don't know if I signed up for this shit.
Yeah,
I kind of thought she was checking out.
Idea too. That she was just kind of like, dang, he's never gonna walk again. Like this is just not gonna work.
I ain't gonna ask for this shit.
I kind of
didn't take it like that. I didn't take it like that. I just took it as she just was crying about the whole situation. I felt like she just felt sad because I felt it was more like a sorrow, not a. I don't think she was thinking of herself. I felt like she really felt sorrow for the situation that her friend not gonna be able to walk, and this is all fucked up, and she can't do nothing. When you feel helpless, man, sometimes that's all you can freaking do.
Yeah.
And these don't seem like the Pierces don't seem like people that are used to feeling helpless. The Pierce, he made sure both his daughters could fight. That says a whole lot, dog. Both of them could kick ass. He made sure of that. And one thing I just want to put a button on.
Both of them fearless.
Mm-hmm. They are. Great casting. It's like Jennifer looks just like him, and she looks just like Anissa.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever cast this so well. Because when they were having that argument, I just was looking at Jennifer and looking at Jefferson like, y'all look alike.
Yep,
and she's going to become Lightning at some point, and she's going to have his exact same powers. So it's very funny that they look alike. And when I look at Anissa, and especially as we start to see with Anissa being, daddy's little girl on some shit with him, Henderson Squares, and when they pan to Lynn and Anissa, they look like mother and daughter, dog. It's just beautiful. Yeah. Motherfucking great casting. So here we go with Anissa giving the vigilante of people too speech, basically she's saying that real as far as I'm concerned. How y'all feel about this scene before I get my spiel, dog? Like, she went into me.
This feels like a cliche scene that we kind of get all the time, and I guess it doesn't sort of take its potency away, but it's sort of like that Dark Knight scene battle where that Dark Knight dinner scene where he's like, do you live long enough to see yourself become the villain? Kind of theoretical, like, is he vigilante or is he, a hero? And da-da-da-da-da kind of conversation.
Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's all. It just sort of, it kind of felt like that. But the biggest note for me sort of happens when she's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. But he's sort of like, okay, cool. But he kind of gives her like that smile, like, I like that. I'm glad you got my back. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's one thing I do love about the scene is his absolute joy that his daughter loves Black Lightning. What you saying, J.Steel?
I'm sorry. Oh, no. The last thing I was going to say is that in the scene, he's holding all it in. Like, okay, cool.
I love every time he smiles, I smile. I'm like, because that's how they can really my daughter.
He's playing so coy, but it's like when he's in that moment where it's like he's all in his personal thoughts, it's like we see exactly sort of how he feels. And, love that moment. Love that.
Yeah, I love the nonverbal exchange between him and Lynn. I thought that was really funny and really ironic.
It was good.
Especially with how she's kind of on the fence about the whole situation and how so much has happened where it's kind of like, I told you so, to have their daughter there.
Unprovoked.
Right, unprovoked, who's a product of both of them and who is a part of her reasoning for saying this is why you need to quit. Be like, oh, well, I love Black Lightning. It's just, it's kind of like an affirmation.
Now, this one thing I'm going to give you. Even though it's tropey to have people talking about the hero while he's sitting there and having this discussion, I think they did this purposely. I think they're paying homage to that scene from The Dark Knight with Harvey Dent and Bruce Wayne, because they even did that with Bruce Wayne in the previous one, where like they had him at the dinner table and they talking about, you know, Batman. He's like, any guy that dresses as a bat is obviously he has some issues. They did that in both Dark Knight and Batman Begins, and I think they're doing this here on purpose. But like J.Steel just said, they're flipping it because it's not specifically only about us being able to hear. Because what's the thing again? Jefferson didn't talk. Because usually you have the hero having to talk shit or make it seem like it could never be them and say some excuse. It was beautiful that they turned that trope on his head.
He just gets to sit on the fence.
Jefferson gets to not say shit. Right. His daughter gets to speak all the shit for him. The irony is nobody knows that she's becoming a vigilante in her own right, so she has this whole other reason for doing it. Then you have what you said, J.Steel, the non-verbals between, they're both sitting at opposite ends of the table, Lynn and Jefferson, and every look that she gives him, and he's like, it's like a husband and a wife, like anything, like if the kid takes the one of their sides, or if they're ever right. If you ever been in a relationship and you and your girl, or you and your guy, or whatever, and y'all always debate about something, but then something proves to your point, or some friend says something comes on TV like affirmation, you be like, you gotta be like, I was right. It was just a wonderful scene. I really dug this scene, and you know, the only thing that brought it down for me was Henderson, who every episode here and there on, dog.
He works for me. How do you feel about Henderson overall? J.Steel.
I think he's cool.
Part
of me feels like he's unnecessary.
Feel like he's unnecessary? Yeah. Okay.
Anybody that you ever feel is unnecessary, I feel like they're gonna do something with.
Me too. Yeah, I agree.
He's gonna do something. He has a greater purpose. He's also had some moments where I feel like he could be kind of an unintentional antagonist.
I mean, I think that's going to definitely happen because he's very anti-Black Lightning.
Yeah.
And even in the first episode, they said Officer Henderson, who used to be known for battling Black Lightning, Right. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. But I hope they do more with his character. And once again, I need to know why he can't get shit done. He's like worthless.
He's Mr. Excuses.
And why he's Mr. Excuses, and he's always at school, hollering at his partner.
Right.
Yeah.
Why you always at Garfield? Go solve a mystery.
I also feel like in a way, he might kind of become like what Gordon is to Batman.
I think that's what they're setting it up to be.
Maybe.
But he just seems so useless.
He is. He's very useless right now, but he has a purpose.
Do y'all think
he's one of those characters that I see him and then I kind of forget about him.
I just don't want him to be evil. I don't want him to be evil. I want him to figure out a more because it's too easy to make him dirty.
I don't think he's gonna be evil. I think he's gonna find his place in some kind of way. Him and Black Lightning are really he's gonna need him in a way. There's gonna be some kind of link or bond there that happens possibly.
I hope it's always begrudging though. I hope that you're absolutely right, but they don't become buddies.
Right. That would be interesting.
Do you think that it's gonna? I'm sorry. Do you think that it's gonna be the? Do you think that he's gonna not know that he's Black Lightning, but they're still gonna maintain that relationship, or do you think both masks are gonna be unveiled?
Both. I think at some point he's going to get to a point with Black Lightning that I think what I want is. He never fucks with Black Lightning. He just begrudgingly has to take his help. And at any given time, even if he's taking Black Lightning's help, he still tries to take Black Lightning down. That's what I want. So when he finds out that it's Jefferson, it's like, fuck. Because I want to be a problem when he finds out that it's Jefferson. I don't want him to be besties with Black Lightning. It's just like, you're not only my best buddy with the mask, you're my best buddy without the mask. No, I want to be like, no, I hate that nigga Black Lightning, but he be helping us, but I want to take him down. But now I find out, it's Jefferson, you motherfucker. That's more interesting to me.
I feel, okay, fair enough. If he is revealed, I feel like his biggest issue is gonna be that he never told him.
Of course.
It is.
And
they'll
they'll just be cool.
Right.
It'll turn into that actual Gordon and Batman relationship then.
See, I feel like J.Steel is right. That's where it's going. But I just don't want it to go that way. I feel like it's too easy.
I think by the end of the season, you know, that relationship that we saw in the comic book where it's sort of like Black Lightning, like everybody, like his relationship with Tommy, where she knows who he is on both sides. Yeah. I think that's what's going to be Henderson's relationship with Black Lightning by the end of the season.
That's fine, but I need at some point in season 2 a splinter happens between them. You feel me?
You think? Okay.
I mean, we got seasons, man, so y'all can be friends for a season. Right. That's fine. For that season, go ahead, chum it up because the best enemies are friends. Whenever you watch, it's like when you ever watch Smallville. That's one of the most interesting things about Smallville
the couple seasons,
even if you saw the first season, the dynamic of Lex and Clark, how they made them best friends. Like they made them not best friends, they made them really good friends, and then over the seasons you watch,
they were besties.
They became And as you watch,
that was the best parts until
because you know that Superman and Lex Luthor are supposed to be enemies. Right. So with the fact that they started them as friends, it's heart-wrenching to be like, damn, how are they gonna fall out? So Henderson and Black Lightning can be best friends just like Khalil loves him some Black Lightning. But by the end of this, Khalil gonna hate him some Black Lightning. And by the end of this, I want Henderson and Black Lightning to be beefing. But when he finds out it's Jefferson, that's gonna be the problem. Because I feel like that's drama for the fact that you hate one side of this motherfucker, but that's your nigga.
Right.
But that's your nigga. But I have all this hate built up over here. I don't know what to do with for Black Lightning.
Right.
But I have all this love built up for Jefferson, and I don't know how to make it subside.
Motherfucker's gonna turn into Joe.
What, Joe, for Flash?
Yeah.
He'll never be Joe.
He's gonna fucking turn into Joe.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, dog. Sorry.
No, but okay.
I understand what you're saying, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Joe is amazing. Joe West.
Yes.
Jesse L. Martin on The Flash is a national treasure.
Fair enough.
They better never kill him on that show. He's he warms my heart every time he laughs, smiles, or cries. He brings such warmth to every scene that he's in. Go Jesse L. Martin, aka Joe West. No, Henderson can never make me feel like Joe. That actor going to have to do some amazing things for me to ever compare him to Joe. But as we move on.
We got some seasons like this.
As we move on. Anissa go find a motherfucking drug dealer and call her a bitch and she whooped their ass.
Did y'all see this coming in this, playing out in this way? Like, granted, she did walk, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see it coming out, playing out this way. I feel like I should have, but I didn't.
Did you, Jay?
No, I'm not used to seeing somebody kick ass and then be like, oh my God. I kicked their ass. That just.
I think it was necessary. She had to realize her strength.
I agree.
The fact that she's learning, yeah. I feel like it's necessary, but like you said, Marty, I just was not expecting that.
I think it just was jarring to see. Because I think we're usually we're in full kick-ass mode.
And typically, you get the satisfaction of the ass kicking and then we move on.
Yeah.
You
like
don't
in the
have
store.
that moment where it's kind of like, oh shit, I really just knocked this person out. Like,
and I think that was a very necessary addition that we don't get to see.
Right.
Of the fact that, one, we get to see she cares. And that's very it's needed for a hero.
Right.
Two, you're strong as fuck. And you got to realize, man, there's some consequences that come with using this power. You heard me? But even more so than that, to go backwards, I think also what you were saying, Marty, was, did I expect her to just go roll up on these drug dealers and decide to kick their ass?
Yeah, like, did she say anything to him when she rolled up on him? She just kind of, after she knocked him down, I think she said something like, who's the bitch now?
Yeah, she did.
Like, who's the bitch?
Yeah.
I don't
but,
know.
I mean,
otherwise.
Vigilante justice, dog. We watching her become a vigilante. She knows there's some drug dealers selling drugs on this corner. You feel me? She tried to tell him as Anissa, don't be selling. They say, fuck you, bitch. Well,
and she went to care. Fair enough.
Because if this was Rose in Reverse and that was Black Lightning, and we saw motherfucker curse out, if Jefferson would have came back as Black Lightning when them little niggas snuck him at Lala's spot, and we would have said shit, we would have been like, whoop them bald head little niggas asses, especially that one that wanted his spot in the camera. Nigga pointed that out. Whoop them niggas. We would have said shit. So I'm like,
Fredro Star, little cousin.
You heard me, and this had her little moment, but I do love that they showed that she cared and that she hurt these little boys. And that she's strong as fuck.
She's super strong.
I do agree with you. I think that scene somewhat was necessary. It just was like, damn,
so surprising.
I was like, wow.
Right.
She take bullets in the comics. She can take bullets.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because the thing is, she can make the density of her skin like be like thick, and vulnerable, damn near. So that's the deep shit with her. So we get in there with Jefferson Pierce go visit 2 Bits. He knows 2 Bits from when they were younger and shit. So he feels like, once again, a Jefferson thing to do. Before I come at you like Black Lightning, I'm gonna come at you like a man. And Jefferson tell him like, look, bruh, the cops know that you the nigga that's selling these drugs, my dude. Like, yo, stop it. But I thought that was cool. I thought that was fun as fuck because in real life, imagine a nigga that you cool with but that you ain't seen in a while. Just out the blue and say, hey, stop selling drugs. Stop doing what you doing to feed your family now, because I came and told you. Because of cops. Like as if you wasn't already afraid of cops.
And then, after he leaves, Black Lightning shows up.
Oh, we're going to get to that. So he turns down Jefferson. He said, I'm going to do my thing, get the fuck, I don't care about them cops. But like you said, and then
Black Lightning shows up. It's like, this is very strange.
I'm not going to call it strange.
Just told me not to stop selling drugs. And you are.
I think I would definitely be like, hold up, at least do these niggas know each other?
I can't quite see your face. Would you mind removing your glasses?
Right. Like, something seems very suspicious here.
It's just a very interesting coincidence. It's a whole just...
Jefferson told him that the cops were onto him. I would say the implication is if the cops are onto you, then Black Lightning is definitely onto you. Right. That's what I'm gonna give it. That's what I'm gonna give it.
Thank God they put this little. See, I don't even know what they say to each other, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was multitasking.
This is when he was explaining to him that this is PCP mixed with crack, and how once you take one hit, you're hooked. You can't even help yourself.
And that's why they give him I think when they deal a drug out, they were saying they give them a free taste or a free sample. Because by the time you take that one, you're addicted.
Yeah. So, and that's when he tells him. That's when Alfred Fox basically tell him to go holler at Black Lightning because he ain't hearing you as Jeff. You feel me? And like I said, I'm gonna give the caveat. He had the Black Lightning because that's the thing too. They covered their ass. No. 2 Bits told him that Black Lightning whooped up on. No. He tells it to Black Lightning, but he says that he heard about the first nigga who ass he whipped. So he knew Black Lightning was gonna be not far behind because he was like, "You whooped your boy. I heard you whoop whoever Jerome. That's the nigga who we already saw." So no, they covered their ass storyline wise. I give him that. Okay. I give him that. He knew Black Lightning was gonna show up. Now the coincidence of Jeff is something, but he already felt like before Jefferson came that Black Lightning was on his way because he heard his boy got whipped. One of his dealers got whipped.
Right.
So I'm gonna give him that.
Okay, yeah, no, you've made that okay now.
I only can dig y'all these holes so many times, Akils.
You made it okay.
I only can dig you so many times with y'all doing y'all thing, but this was one of the funniest interrogations ever. I was so in love with this scene.
So funny.
I love this one too, man. Okay. Now, I haven't said this yet. Wasn't a big fan of this episode. But I love this moment.
Hold up. Let's get this. Let's let this play. Let's let it go. It was too funny. Black Lightning coming in whipping that ass. And some people just know I'm not about to try and fight no motherfucking Black Lightning. So, it looked like it hurt when he sneaked you, son.
Hey, the streets are talking, man. I heard what you did to Block.
What'd you hear?
I heard you lit his ass up.
Good. That should save us some time. Tell me about Greenlight.
I know your M.O. After I tell you what you want to know, you just gonna knock me out and call the cops. That'd be my 3rd strike. I get 30 years, man.
You should have thought about that before you started dealing.
You think I deserve 30 years?
You deserve something.
Okay, but 30 years?
That is so, that's so real to me, man.
It's so real. It really is.
Like, remember when old boy tried to rob them people and they locked his ass in the store? Did y'all see that on the news?
No.
This guy tried to rob this, phone store or whatever, and they wound up locking him in it. Y'all should look this up.
All right.
But anyway, they locked him in, so after a while, he has a gun. So he shoots at the door, and then eventually he realizes that's not going to get him out. So then he's pleading. He's like, please, I didn't take anything. Please. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just like when he realized he had no options, like in real life, motherfuckers plead and beg, and it's just, I don't know, to me, this was some real shit. My man pleaded his case, for real.
I like that he had different levels to it. Like, it wasn't just the attitude or the, oh, fuck you, Black Lightning, or the serious. But he really had different layers and levels and, like...
It felt like a regular dude.
Yeah.
My nigga said, because it was a 3, he was like, I'm going to get 30 years. He said, blah, 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 blah. But you think I deserve 30 years?
Wait. Damn.
And then he said,
30 years?
But for real?
Right.
30 though?
Yeah.
Dude, that was perfect. That was perfect. That was so fucking perfect. That was one of my favorite scenes of the series.
Come on, man.
So
They throwing brothers in jail forever, like it ain't nothing.
And once again, Superman might not understand that. Batman might not understand it the same way.
Arrow definitely sending your ass to jail.
He might just shoot you with an arrow or something, dog. He said they send the niggas in jail forever.
Right.
You hear me? So, and all Black Lightning said, well, like Jefferson said, stop dealing drugs. Now, if Black Lightning tell me that shit, I might just have to say, all right, dog, I'm going to move to Miami. We're going to Gotham or Metropolis or something. I'm going to get out here. And then this hilarious scene. Oh, my God.
I hear you dealing again. I'm gonna come find you. Okay, deal. So I'll leave the money at the drop spot. I go pick up the product at a warehouse on 389 Hart Avenue. Re-up is every Thursday at noon. Hey, real quick, before you knock me out, you think I can get a pic? Hey, can you make sure you light up? What? No.
My son trying to get a pic of Black Lightning. And for a split second, Black Lightning was going to let him.
He had a moment when he said, all right, bro, hold up.
Wait a minute.
Black Lightning.
Right. Especially when you told me to light up, nigga. That's like jump up. It's like, you know what I mean? Tap dance for me.
Right.
Can you light up for me, bitch? I'm not a fucking special effect trick.
I'm not gonna lie to you. For like 5 seconds, I thought, like, is he gonna really take this? Well, I'm alright if he takes the selfie with him for like 5 seconds. I was like, well, if he thinks it's okay, I think it's okay. And then when he knocked him out, I was like, yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea.
I'd have let him.
Wasn't a good idea.
I'd have let him.
You're right.
I mean, I would have let Black Lightning slide with taking the picture and shooting him up just for comedy. I mean, then punching him just for comedy's sake. But I understand for in character being honest. Nah, Black Lightning won't let that go down. But it was a very funny scene. I appreciate 2 Bits. I hope 2 Bits comes back, like, because in the comics, once again, he's like Black Lightning snitch or some shit. And then even in the new
Turk.
And that's in the year 1 version of him. There's another version of him I heard, like in the new 52, where in some version of 2 Bits, he's a gangster and he winds up being a snitch or some shit. So, but anyway, we get to these two, Jennifer and Khalil, and Khalil. I think this is when Khalil tells her that that news lady wants to talk to him, and he don't know if he should take it up. And then she tells him that she quit track, and he ain't really have no response. And I think that hit her, like, damn, you don't care about my life, nigga? Like, right. That's how I took it. I don't know how y'all took it, because, like, he decides that he gonna take on, is that in this scene? I think it's this scene when that happens.
Well, he says, he's like, he doesn't want people to see him like that or whatever. That's
as far as taking an interview with the news.
As far as taking the interview. And then and then
she says the track, and he's like, oh, and then he decides to take the interview, and he asks if if she his ride or die, and then she has this look at the end of the scene. And I think she felt some kind of way because he didn't really give a fuck that she basically gave up track to be there for him, and he just was like, okay.
Yeah.
Did y'all feel like when he took it, it was this sort of way of saying like, well, you know what? No, I'm gonna be strong. I don't want them to see me like this, but you know what? I'm gonna do this interview. And I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna let the world see me as I am, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to be scared. You don't have to quit what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? This isn't. You know what I'm saying? This isn't anything scary.
For me,
did y'all feel like like when he because like, but he was contemplating it, and then she said that she quit, and then he quickly just said he was gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, I can take that now. Now that you said that, I can take that. And for some reason, when he did that, bro, I felt like he just was thinking about him, and she made him feel better about getting some attention. He watching the motherfuckers running. And I felt like we finally saw a crack in Khalil's armor as far as he's been super good guy. And this was the first time where I was like, wait a minute, he's still he's still a teenager in a way. So I felt like he was trying to get some glory. But you could be right. Okay. I won't throw Khalil under the bus. You could be right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just so I thought that might be what it was.
We're back here with Vice Principal McDottie, and once again, she's trying to get them to understand that the only way that you gotta give up some of your power, because they like, dog, you gotta expel Bernard. He like, nah, nigga, I got final say. And she like, nah, nigga, like, dog, the board ain't feeling that shit. And he like, bro, they gonna kick my ass out if I fight this too hard. And she keep on fighting him to play ball with the board. Even her mannerisms and everything just feels like play ball with the board. Did she already storm out, send him the vice principal, or is that another scene? Or did we already do that?
Yeah, that was the other scene.
So this is the one when she's like, once again, if you need anything, I'm here, as she says in every episode.
If you need anything at all.
But once again, that time in particular, I really felt like, man, she's playing an angle. Because even when we see her in the future, her vibe is just different. Oh, here go that incredible interest for Tobias Wells' sister. It's like a music video.
It was like a music video. At first, for some reason, I thought that maybe I was like, "Is this Tobias' girlfriend?"
That's what I thought when they embraced each other.
Split second, but then when she came in and it kind of they had the little interaction in the moment where they were hugging, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is like a."
But before she got to Tobias, what did you think? Who the fuck you think this woman was? I was confused. I was like, who the fuck is this? I thought I missed something because in my first 15 minutes. Because I remember I said I missed the first 15 minutes the first time I saw this. So I was like, maybe she's somewhere happened in the first 15.
Right.
I thought I missed something too because I was looking down at my phone at the time and up at this. I was just kind of going back and forth. But
and we see
she
Tobias
said something immediately. Well, not immediately, but pretty early on. Like, oh, I got you, big bro, or something like that.
I mean, she says it when they talk.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, when she was in her car, they gave her an extended interest for somebody we don't fucking know.
I kept looking like, am I supposed to know her?
Me too.
Right.
That's what I was wondering. Like, am I supposed to know you? Who are you?
I feel like this is my fault.
And we get in here, Tobias feeding rats to his piranhas.
Oh,
and like
God.
you said, they had the embrace. We found out their brother and sister. And I remember we was watching this bitch. She just was straight to business gangster. So
Yes.
what the line was?
How
we gonna kill Black Lightning?
Yeah.
Straight up and down.
Straight out the gate, like, all right, I'm here for business.
All right, little lunchbox.
And I instantly know
jukebox.
that you jukebox your power. Fuck, yep. Jukebox.
You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, little jukebox.
Ready. And her threat was instantaneous. It's like you instantly felt her power.
Well, what can you do? Can you lift a nigga up too?
Or what can you do?
Crack a neck with one hand?
Just something about if Tobias, once again, you look at Lady Eve and he bends too, you instantly know, damn, she's powerful. The respect and the love he has for his sister and the ruthlessness that she showed in that one line make you wonder, like, damn, like, you must be that bitch.
Right.
Like, for real.
Oh, yeah.
So we get to Black Lightning, and apparently his glasses can now be damn near X-ray because the electricity in all things he basically can use to see through things or some shit they say. But it was pretty freaking cool. And one thing I love about Cress Williams is, once again, the joy that he has in his powers. Somewhere around the Dark Knight era, dog, heroes started being shown like not enjoying their powers. Right. And I'm glad that through Spider-Man, through the Marvel movies, they showed that yes, you can be a hero and have fun being a hero. Right. He's like, he loves the new tech. He loves having fun with even though he's, Black Lightning, the superhero, Mr. Nigga, Joe Clark. But yeah, bro, so they find the drugs. But then they have this scene going juxtapose Anissa and Grace leaving the lesbian bar, basically, because it's called a lipstick bar.
Like Janelle Monáe.
You know what I mean? She was. I like her little braids, though.
I like her braids too. I
Braids,
just realized how much like Janelle Monáe she looked like coming down the stairs like she about to do a dance routine.
And she talking to Grace. Basically, Grace is like letting her talk because she venting about wondering. Basically, she should tell her parents about her powers without saying that straight up.
Right.
And Grace, you can tell by Grace's reaction being like, bro, you do what you feel like doing, son. Like, I just know that me and my parents have got a good relationship, and maybe talking to your parents might not be a bad thing. Because I don't know why she just doesn't want to tell her parents. She just wants someone to make her feel good for her not wanting to tell her parents.
Right.
Well, there was that other scene when I forget what they said, something that was kind of potent, where it's like, well, maybe you don't want to tell the people who you love, who you know what you do, because when they were having that,
they were worried. Grace said that.
Yeah,
and these dudes walk up on them, some freaking basic homophobes.
Yeah, that's basically what they were.
Randomly, all
and
of a sudden.
I think Grace also mentioned that one of them was a stalker.
Yeah, he said that they had a restraining order on him, and that they be coming by the bar because they should have put. It's so weird that they're just a bunch of dudes that hate lesbians when you don't put the religious tint. I understand the religious tint can be a trope as well, but it's weird that this group of niggas just hate lesbians just because.
Right.
It's not like they're mutants and we're watching X-Men or something. Like, there just was two women there to let a but like, that was confusing to me. But this scene is crazy. We go back to Jefferson. He hears what he thought was explosions. And then we come back and we see this shot from above. And once again, how does Jefferson get places? I keep wondering. How does he get places? of these niggas just destroyed on the ground and things are broken and a hole in the ground. And there we go, Marty. You might as well tell them about suspect-ass Gamby in this scene.
So Gamby sees... I don't quite think that he sees that it's Anissa. But I do... he does see that it's something. Mm-hmm. Or that, maybe he even has an inkling, but he doesn't know for sure. I'd give him that much.
I feel like he got the way I perceived it, I feel like he knew.
You feel like he knew?
Yeah.
I think so, too.
Like he absolutely
he had an idea.
Oh, really?
Completely understand. Because what you were just saying, that could be true, but I feel like there's more that goes into his motivation for not wanting to tell Black Lightning, like, man, it's your daughter out here.
But there's the wrinkle, J.Steel. Why did he grab a gun?
I don't know.
Did he grab a gun?
I don't know. That right there, I'm like... When he picked up the gun, I'm like...
That's what sort of makes me hope that he doesn't know.
They just thought it was some random
super.
But why would he hire this why would he hire the superpowered person from Black Lightning? I understand why he hit Tobias. If he knows that it's his daughter, I understand why he hit it to a degree, but why does he have a gun? He doesn't know it's his daughter, why would he alert the Black Lightning that there's other powered individual out here? Were you going in to go find a powered individual and take the powered individual out? Why would you want to even do that? This was very curious. They need to start clearing up some things about Gamby in these coming episodes.
Motivations that we're not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Gamby is piling up the lies, man. Mm-hmm. And it's making it harder and harder to like him. And I feel like with each episode, he's going to come up with another one. If we got 3, it's just,
he's the one good white man on the show. The one white man that's perceived as good on this show so far, son.
Fair enough.
He got all these issues too.
But would they just basically just go back into the bar, and Gamby can't find him. So
and he finds that stomp. That's one of Thunder's things that she's known for in the comic books. She stomps the ground and it makes waves and earthquakes and shit. Oh. So that's some comic book shit. Gamby takes what it seems like a picture with this high tech ass phone or whatever.
So he can delete the picture later.
I don't know why. I don't know why he took the picture. I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't go in the bar.
This is stupid. Yeah.
Why didn't he go in the bar? Why did he go knock on a door?
You fired, Gamby. Like, you're supposed to be super spy man in the chair and in the air.
I would have at least looked in the bar because you were watching the camera footage that these people were outside of the bar. Right. So why wouldn't you go look in the bar?
Did I miss something? Where did old girl go?
Who?
Miss, non-useful or whatever you called her.
I told you she set this episode out. He put that motherfucker in time out because he missed Black Lightning.
Yeah, punished I did.
God damn.
He didn't say that, but once again, in the episode that we had old girl, where was old boy at? The Joker-looking motherfucker.
Which one?
The other one. He only got 2 white henchmen. The girl and the dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
he wasn't in that episode. I feel like they trying to keep their money down. They're like, look, he got 1 henchman per episode, really, and when his sister come, both of y'all gonna have to scram, nigga.
Look, in season 2, we'll hire the both of you, but for now we only get 1 at a time.
Except for the first episode, we had your both because we had to let everybody know our balls was
y'all exist.
That y'all exist. Right. We had to establish you motherfuckers.
Make a nice picture.
But as we move on, man, we got Tobias and his sisters showing her usefulness. His sister's the brains. His sister explains that nigga Khalil is what you need to go. You need to turn the people against Black Lightning. The people love this Olympic boy. This boy could have went to the Olympics. Khalil. You need to turn Khalil on Black Lightning because he don't even realize he should hate Black Lightning.
I'm gonna call you Juice Box.
Nigga.
Juice Box.
Juice Box.
That's definitely Juice Box.
Because that's Jukebox that was on Power, but this our Juice Box.
Juice Box, right?
Yeah. But son, so I love that she was the one that gave him the idea, even though he wasn't hearing it at first. And I feel like she probably helped him rise to power back in the day, because she already have a familiar, how we gonna kill Black Lightning this time? What we gonna do this nigga?
This is like the one time I wanted to like pick up the phone and like, were you whispering in Tobias' sister's ear to say this? It's almost like Evil she says it exactly the way you said it.
Dog. Like, for story purposes, we need him to turn dark. He started him too good. If I'm writing some shit, I present somebody that's super squeaky clean, the fun is in twisting it.
You know what? That's true though, because he was a little bit too perfect.
Too perfect.
He was a little bit too perfect.
Your fall is gonna be crazy, son.
I mean, did all the right things, said all the right things, and now he has his spinal cord injured.
And we find it out now.
Oh, poor him. So yeah.
We find it out now that he can't walk again, and it's Black Lightning who got to tell him after Black Lightning, you the reason he. That's why I'm really feeling like you don't realize it. What you saying, Marty?
Do y'all think that he really can't walk? Because like since this came after the whole scheme to sort of like, you know, turn him against Black Lightning? Do you think his test results that they're giving him right now are real and accurate?
I thought they were, but that's a good idea.
Did you go with it? You're like, yeah, I believe it's real and accurate?
I literally did not think about that till just
now, right?
But
that'll be cool.
Especially with the way, which is the scene coming up, the way Tobias appears.
He got connects.
Yeah, like he's probably got his hands in everywhere. Yeah.
Because dog, we saw him waltz in the police station to kill Lala.
Of the plan, you know
he just popped up in the goddamn freaking hospital, and I never thought that would be cool.
The way he says, and I keep referencing the scene, the way he says, "Oh, I've been watching you. You know, I've been watching you for a while." Yeah. There definitely could be some kind of connection with, let's make this little nigga think he can't walk.
Right.
Now, I'm gonna say
and
this.
Then, I feel like, and then let's make this nigga walk.
Yeah. Because that's what I'm thinking. Right. And you gonna owe Tobias that shit. Black Lightning couldn't do it. You gonna owe Tobias. I can't do your legs.
You like walking?
Bruh.
Why don't you do me a favor to keep them legs?
Because we going back to the power situation.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Khalil is little boy, and 50 Cent is Tobias.
Yep.
Tobias is only gonna present his best sides to Khalil. He gonna really win Khalil over, dog.
Oh, yeah.
And he's gonna make his ass walk. You heard it first on Reviewing That Lightning Podcast. 1, those are fake test results. 2, they're gonna make Khalil walk again. We going with it. We ain't even get to predictions yet, but fuck it, that's an early prediction. What you saying, J.Steel?
Something that he can take that might help him. My brain went there.
I said that earlier. What if they manufacture some version of the drug?
They did, right,
and they get him hooked on that to the point where he can't walk without the drug. And the drug make him super strong. He could walk and all that shit. But without the drug, like Bane and shit, he back to being a cripple. And once you get a taste of that, once you paralyze, and then you get a taste of not only being able to walk, but being motherfucking powerful, nigga.
I feel like that could definitely be a
We writing a beautiful show that I hope that they wrote. We're writing the shit right now, nigga.
All you have to do is say it, apparently, and it's gonna happen. So I mean, hey,
that episode starting like that was for a reason.
Son,
some kind of way is probably gonna relate.
You heard it first on Reviewing That Lightning, y'all.
We predicted.
Give us back our props and tell your friends come listen to us, because we call it some beautiful, wonderful shots. But anyway, now we back in the school, and apparently Vice Principal McThady. What's her name? We found out her name in this episode. I forgot it again.
She has a name?
She has I think it's like Karen or something. But anyway, she all of a sudden has this wonderful news that says that you can let Bernard come back, but you have to give up final say as a principal, and now your vote is only one vote of many in the council, which I ultimately feel like is once again them taking this man down a peg, and she plotting.
Right.
And she all of a sudden happy about this news? You was hating the whole time. And now you happy about this man having to give up his final say though.
Right.
I would say, and I don't know, maybe we're all in agreement here about this, but I feel like she's an opportunist more so, because I feel like initially she played sort of the vice principal role. Like, she had his back. She's like, yo, hey, come talk to this Black Mariah chick. She gives a lot of money. Hey, listen, the donors don't like this. Or, hey, the board is not happy about this. Or, hey, you need to play ball there, man. Right. You need to play ball. And then he's like, no. I ain't playing ball, and I ain't doing this shit. I ain't suspending the boy, and that's the final word. And you tell the boy, I said, she's the motherfucker. I ain't telling him shit. You tell him the boy. You know what I'm saying? And then at that point, I feel like that's maybe where it shifted. And then, you know, now it's like, well, he's on his way out if he keeps this shit up.
Right.
And I'm right in line for that position.
I think just like how Henderson is about a law-ass motherfucker, I think she by the numbers. You know how you think about the school system these days, where it feels like some teachers just care about how the system at times cares more about the stats than it does the kids.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like she wants people that she care about the kids, but she care about them numbers.
She care about them
and
numbers.
That boy cares
about that job. Like,
So it's interesting.
These numbers, I get these numbers, and boom. So, but
So as we move on, Cress calls up Lynn and Jefferson calls up Lynn to get some reassurance because he's feeling like he's finally letting all this shit hit him about the Reverend, about Khalil, about LaWanda, about Lala. He letting everything fucking hit his fucking ass that there's some collateral damage in this war and being Black Lightning. And at that time, Lynn ain't trying to hear that shit. She like, let me call you back. I'm busy, nigga. And that like sets him off kind of off, like, and he gets a call from Bernard Daddy, and apparently Bernard Daddy got pistol whipped by the 100 for just trying to, you know what I mean? And the cops were there, so you can't even call the cops. And Bernard wigged the fuck out needing drugs. So he sent Black Lightning in to go get his kid, and is about to get into this fight scene.
No. Once again, somebody talks to Jefferson, and Black Lightning shows up once again.
Now look, Marty.
Nobody said Black Lightning in there. Nobody said Black Lightning. Everybody talked to Jefferson.
I'm gonna give you that one.
You gonna give me that one?
That one in particular, because I said the same thing. I was like, now hold up, son.
Come on, man. You cannot show
how
us
in
Black
the
Lightning.
no, because how the fuck did this man call Jefferson and Black Lightning saved his son?
You literally carried the boy out. I mean,
I give you that. I don't know. I give you that one all the way.
Somebody's gonna make that correlation.
Nah, here go my problem. The fight scene. Now I was telling this to J.Steel. Now she gets it. This fight scene pisses me off. Now watch it.
Oh, cool. Okay, great. All right, great.
Did you see what was my problem with the fight scene?
That you can tell that when the stunt double comes.
Yes.
I saw it.
The stunt double don't have a beard. He doesn't have a beard.
Oh, is that what it was? You could just tell that's not him.
It's because he doesn't have a beard.
Oh shit,
he doesn't have a beard.
So obvious.
That's so obvious. It's just not him. But you're right. The beard is a dead.
The stunt double is taller than Chris.
He had a beard.
No, I give it to you.
He looks like Jaheim in the mouth.
My nigga.
He's look like.
He's taller than Chris. He's taller than Chris. But I swear to God, if he had a beard, it'll be harder to tell.
Fair enough.
Because when I'm watching this whole fight, they got clear times where you see. There's one time where he's. What
you hitting that?
There's one time right here. This is the point where it's obviously not him with no beard, and then as he's taking this gangster and taking him from one wall, he's gonna slam him into the other wall. When he slams him halfway to the other wall, the beard appears. How the fuck?
Yeah, that was insulting.
See, I also
this pissed me off.
On top of seeing the stun double, I thought this was the shittiest fight scene we've had so far.
I was just like, very slow.
Why did we
Nobody was really fighting.
Why did we need a stunt double for this?
Right.
Like, what was the purpose? He really didn't do anything.
He really didn't.
And but yeah, so
I feel like this was a lackluster scene when you look at the episode as a whole. Because it didn't. Because
to the end, this is why this is the point.
Because it didn't reveal anything.
No.
Like when the dad showed up, I'm thinking we gonna show up and he gonna run into Tobias. He gonna run into 2-Bits who really didn't leave, and you're like, the fuck? Okay. What you doing here? And 2-Bits is the one selling to him again. We gonna see, but like I'm thinking that something gonna happen, because that's one thing I will give this show props on that has been doing great so far. Every scene builds on itself. Every episode usually builds on itself. Yeah. So as we reach the end, we're reaching the end of this episode. I'm thinking, okay, the daddy called him for one more Black Lightning scene, and they only gave us this fighting scene just to remind us that it's a superhero show. Because once again, one thing that works for this show a lot is the fact that it feels more like a drama than a superhero show a lot of times, and it feels like a really good drama.
Right.
But it's like this scene seems tacked on. Like, oh yeah, we forgot we're a superhero show, so we got to give you another obligatory fight scene. Right. And that's what it felt like, because it's short too. All the other fight scenes are like built and blocked in a way that you felt like you got to fight. Like,
this is like the laziest fucking hallway scene, like a Daredevil hallway.
Yeah, it's a lazy Daredevil hallway.
The laziest version of
that.
And
even when he went in to get Bernard, there was no twist. There was no zest. Bernard didn't have to. He had to fight. Nobody. There was, once again, if he would have bust through the door, saw 2-Bits, Tobias, Lady Eve, random big ass drug dealers about his size, it gives him a real boss battle to get to Bernard. But it was so easy with a bunch of fucking thugs, half and half, tagging out with his stun double, and he carries his nigga out. Like, what the fuck, man?
Shout out to the stun double though. You did a full day's work in this bad boy. I mean, y'all deserve the.
Yeah, you got that work stun double
for real, man.
And once again, the daddy comes and thanks Jefferson, but not Black Lightning. And
yeah, do you realize you called Jefferson and Black Lightning showed up and
you're thanking Jefferson. And you're thanking Jefferson.
They're rather similar. Just saying.
Jefferson's pretty tall, bruh.
Similar build.
Even if you can't see Jefferson face, Black Lightning face.
But you know,
Jefferson's pretty tall, bro.
He wears glasses like Clark Kent, so I mean we're gonna play that game. But that's cool.
But one thing. Okay, I'm about to say two things. One thing I'm gonna give this. It's funny on this show where we keep having these instances. It happened once with LaWanda, once with Reverend Holt, and now with Bernard's dad. They're saying things to Jefferson that makes you for a second wonder.
Do they know?
Do they know?
But it's like
now we obviously can prove that they don't know. They never know.
Right.
But it's a very curious thing that it was way more precious with LaWanda and the Reverend especially. But right now, once you throw in the context of nigga, you called Jefferson, Black Lightning showed up, and then Jefferson you're thinking, it almost feel like nigga, y'all could have slipped in the spot even here when they hug Black Lightning, I know, or something, or a knowing look.
Like if you later on down the line we find out that this guy knows that what Black Lightning's identity is, it's like I believe it.
I would absolutely believe it.
I believe it.
I would absolutely believe it. And the second thing is this: there's this comic book. There's a few comic books addressing Superman, and when people find out it's him, niggas don't believe that. Lex Luthor in particular was told many times. Not many, but a couple of times that Clark Kent was Superman. But when he looks down on Clark Kent to the point that he feels like Clark Kent is out of shape. The way that Superman carries himself when he's Clark Kent, the way that he walks, the way that he talks, the way he carries himself is in such a lower being as manner that Lex Luthor was like he couldn't imagine a being so powerful to ever cower or carry themselves in such a way. Like he feels like that would be beneath a being so powerful, so he overlooks the obvious, like the glasses. And a lot of people don't believe that Superman can be an average person among them. So I think that's what's happening with Black Lightning. They're not even taking in that this nigga got a day job. You feel me? That he's a real person, that he has children. Aside from Anissa saying it earlier about him having family, I think your average Joe just think he's just a figure, a myth. You hear me? So, as we get out of this episode, Lynn gives Jefferson another call, and this time she leaves him a voicemail apologizing. You hear me? Stand by your man, huh, J.Steel?
I mean, yeah. You know, she loves him, and I feel like I like their relationship, and I like the fact that outside of everything that's going on at school and at the community, he has something to really fight for. And he has sort of this struggle, and I love their bond, and I love their relationship.
And you see that, but my question continues to be, where does her character go the more that she comes on his side? That's what I'm wondering. Like, where do you go with the character for her own story purposes outside of him?
Oh, okay.
I just wonder what they're going to do with Lynn.
I think that something's going to come up with her being a neuroscientist for sure.
And that's not by accident. I'm glad you said that.
That's not by accident. That's going to be her reason and her purpose, because I think it's helping to move the story along with them having that sort of conflict and trying to reunite and trying to save their marriage. They have a lot at risk, a lot at stake, but I feel like once that starts to resolve itself, some kind of way her profession is going to come into play.
I can see that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But I can see that. And as we end this episode, this haunting ass scene with Tobias will
like the vanilla boogeyman.
Yeah.
So scary. Vanilla I woke up and saw an albino motherfucker. I would very quickly regain my strength to walk.
Like,
quickly, like, no, that's
you
really
know what?
scary.
I appreciate everything you did for me, man. I'm just gonna walk up on out of here.
Get up on out of here. I am healed.
By the grace of God. I am
no.
good. I am good, Mr. Man.
And you could tell Khalil was just like, what the fuck?
And this man, once again, we don't know the
He's a scary
motherfucker.
Very scary.
And he's sowing those early seeds at the end of this of basically saying, man, Black Lightning's not your friend. I'm your friend. I hooked you up right this. I'm paying your mama bills. Once again, he said he paying mama rent. I'm paying your mama bills. Like, you feel me? I'm your friend. Listen to me. And that was an interesting quote he said at the end where it's like, man, like pain, you could get past pain or whatever. I know I can teach you how to get past your pain. And in his position right now, that's exactly what he's needing, an avenue to get past his pain. So
that's a mob gift, man. You don't never want to take a mob gift.
But my only wondering is this, Khalil, have you heard of Tobias Well before? Because he was a big fucking deal as far as a gangster. Even they say he was a politician, or is it just like how a lot of kids don't keep up with that shit and so many years have gone by that he was probably a child when this shit was going down and maybe he wasn't taught.
He may not be fully aware.
Who knows? Because he played it both ways. He played it as, you can look at it, you can take it as complete confusion or fear of, I do know who you are. It was. So they can flip it in the next episode, and I love they left it mysterious as they often do.
Maybe the fact that Tobias is possibly aware that Khalil is aware of his reputation was why he was making him aware of, hey, I did all these things for you. I did all this stuff to try and, I don't know, diffuse some of that. Maybe that's a thing too.
It's gonna be a constant. It's gonna be interesting the next few episodes. So what you say, I'm gonna do?
Do you all think that Black Lightning is under the impression that Tobias is dead?
I think he does think
that.
He
does think that?
That's the only reason why you
possibly, yeah, because he doesn't really. He doesn't reference him.
He doesn't reference him, and Gambi deleted the picture.
But if y'all noticed in the police department,
he looked at it.
The photo's still up.
It's still a
current. Yeah, so it's still a current warrant out for him. So,
but Black Lightning might still think he did though. He might think he killed them, even though the police still haven't found the body.
Sure.
Exactly, but how does Black Lightning think he killed Tobias if Tobias thinks he killed Black Lightning?
We're in desperate need we're in desperate need of a flashback, bro.
Yeah,
we're in desperate need of a flashback, son, because they are giving us breadcrumbs, and I'm giving you. We're on in episode 4, and you're going 13, so I give you a caveat. But in a few episodes, you got to give us more information about that final fight, because even when Tobias talks about it, when Lady Eve is coming and getting in his ass, Lady Eve is like, "Nigga, you said he was dead. Well, how can he not be?" So that often makes you wonder, what the fuck happened?
Right.
What the fuck happened? We need a flashback, and I know it's coming soon.
Right.
So before we get into grading this episode, man, what's some predictions y'all think might be coming that we haven't already gotten into? Because we already predicted our answers off a few times already.
Okay. What are you thinking?
I guess it's safe to assume now that Khalil is gonna be evil.
or at least struggling.
Or something.
Gray. He's gonna be more gray than the vanilla that he currently is.
We're gonna put him in some.
He could also be the link to Black Lightning discovering that Tobias is still alive. That's definitely a thing. He could also be bait for Black Lightning. So that's where my mind is right now. I'm curious to see how that unfolds. I also believe just Gambi is just a question mark.
Yeah.
He's just a giant. I was rooting for him. I'm like, okay, you have some reason for not wanting to tell Black Lightning about Anissa, but when he got the gun, I'm like, I don't know.
So what you think he gonna do next with this information?
I really don't know. That's one that I can't quite wrap my head around.
I'm also wondering, what's the over-under? How long you think it's going to take for him to find out about this of Black Lightning?
What episode are we on now?
We're on 4. We're on 4.
I see next episode.
So you think he's going to find out next ep?
I think he's going to find out something next ep. She's been doing too much.
Remember I kind of said by the end of the next episode that Gambi would probably figure out who she is? Mm-hmm. I didn't think they would gift wrap it like this, but... Right. I also don't think that he knows that it's her. So I think that he'll definitely figure it out first.
Make her a suit and everything.
And then, I don't know, I guess spring it on him. I don't know.
Or he gonna do some coordinating of, he gonna be trying to mentor her behind Black Lightning back, and he gonna have them time. But it's just gonna be weird that there's a whole other vigilante in them streets, and Black Lightning ain't gonna run into her, or at the very least, run into, like you said, J.Steel, run into something.
Something, yeah.
But by next episode, Anissa's gonna, I agree with both of y'all, at least Black Lightning or Gambi, not both of them. Black Lightning or Gambi is gonna find out something, and most likely it's gonna be Gambi now that I'm thinking about it, because they're gonna prolong the drama as they do in these shows. So I think Gambi's gonna get confirmation. I think Black Lightning at the very least gonna hear that there's somebody else doing something.
Right.
I think that's absolutely possible.
And I don't think we've seen her last midnight corner run.
Hell no.
That's her thing.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna be whooping some drug boys' ass.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It sort of scares me because I feel like, and not to say that she's not smart. I feel like she's gonna become a little sloppy. Mm-hmm. And if they know you're coming, they're not trained. If they know that you're coming, that's the worst. We don't want that. And it's sort of like, and this is it trickles down to these corner boys, and then it goes all the way up to a Lady Eve.
It'll be hilarious if she gets involved with either Lady Eve or Tobias before Black Lightning even realizes that Tobias is alive. Ooh. That'll be interesting if she crosses their paths before he does. Just on some rando. Because if she just out here whooping corner boys, you know what I mean, on some rando, she might fall into some shit that just gets to Tobias. And she's also not telling Black Lightning what she's doing. So there's a bunch of different ways this motherfucker could go.
Right.
Really, really. How long you think it's going to take for Tobias and Black Lightning to see each other face to face?
If they're petty, it's gonna be like right before the season.
If they're petty.
Which I could see happening.
I feel like we got way too many
They're gonna
villains.
drag this out.
I feel like we have way too many villains for them to. And actually, well, you know what? I don't know. Now that you mention it, because after this episode, I feel like we do have a little bit of y'all got some filler in y'all, and unfortunately, that filler, it's not always gonna be so pretty. Ending scene being one of the main.
Not ending scene, last fight scene.
Sorry, last fight scene.
The ending scene was great.
Ending scene was fine, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, last fight scene definitely. But it's just this one. Just like I was saying, I kind of said this earlier. This episode didn't really work for me. There were great moments in it, but overall, it just wasn't. It's not one I'm gonna hold on to at all. I'm only gonna just. It's only just gonna add another notch to Gamby.
Because you already beautifully segued into us grading this bitch.
Okay.
But I want to ask you this before we grade it. Mm-hmm. Does Jennifer get her powers in the first season?
No.
No?
Nope. It's too much. Mm-mm.
I say yes.
Last episode or somewhere before?
Last episode.
If anything, she gets it
Last episode, last moments.
Probably similar to how Anissa realizes she gets up out of bed and some random shit.
Like, that was a stinger, right?
That was a stinger.
It's gonna happen in the stinger. If it happens, it'll happen in the stinger.
No, it was the last scene of the actual episode.
Was the last scene? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like, because every so often they'll have a stinger. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be a stinger.
Of her realizing, what the fuck, I got electricity coming from my fucking fingers.
Yeah, because I feel like what triggered Anissa's powers was like emotion, right? Or like she was, I can't remember what it was exactly.
It was her breathing.
Breathing, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah,
breathing.
but she was tripped out because of, she got her kidnapped, she couldn't sleep, she was going through some shit mentally, and like it was like an emotional break. And this happened once again.
It was like a high level of stress.
She's in her early 20s, high level of stress. So the thing is, they could stress Jennifer out up until she gets out of high school at the very least. They could go a couple, even though I don't think they will. I think they're gonna get it the last episode. I'm with y'all on either last episode or somewhere near the last episode. But I would put it like this: I'm hoping and leaning towards somewhere near the end of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if they saved it to the next season. I wouldn't be that shocked. No pun intended. But I'm hoping it's somewhere in this season, at least the last episode, we see something burgeoning. Because I understand what you're saying. Yeah. They have to develop him getting used to thunder before we even bring lightning into this situation. And that's gonna take at least from the midway point of the season for him to get at least somewhat comfortable with having him and his daughter out here kicking ass and him being accepting it. Right. He will eventually, but
I didn't think that they were even gonna give her I went into this completely blind. Like I didn't even know that Myra and Salim were a part of the whole development and creative team for this. So like I don't know. I don't know.
Let's grade this motherfucker.
Yeah.
What you saying? How many votes you giving this motherfucker, Marty? Because if you said you weren't feeling this episode,
I'm gonna give it a 3.5, sir.
You giving? Damn, that's a huge drop off. 3.5 votes.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna give it 3.5 because it dropped off.
J.Steel, what you saying?
I'm gonna give it 4.
I'm gonna give it 4 as well.
Give it 4.
What?
I really liked it. I feel like the story is moving very nicely. I feel like all of the characters, we're getting a lot more from them. We're getting a lot of good character development.
Because I'm saying, didn't we give the first two a 5? I think
like
we gave
4s and 5s.
No. We gave the first one like a 5.
No. The first one is definitely
one of them we gave a 5 and one we gave a 4.5, and then we basically gave them both 5s.
Right.
So if I'm gonna give it a drop off, but I'm not gonna say it's dropping off from a 5 to a 3.5. I'm gonna give it a 5 to a 4. They dropped one. They didn't drop a half a point. Y'all dropped a point. Y'all did drop a point.
I mean,
not a point and a half. I can't agree with Marty here. But I'm gonna give you from a 5 to a 4.
They get
still
a solid 3. They get a solid
You went from 3.5 to a 3. Damn, nigga. Wow.
I'm sorry, 3.5. Sorry, yeah, 3.5. Sorry. They get that solid 3.5 for the dinner scene. For
see, I like the dinner scene. I like that.
No. For that's what I'm saying. Like that whole those are the goods. And then going over the whole thing, it just
that stun double scene knock off a 0.5 for
that knocks off.
It does.
It does.
But the whole thing, just the whole movement of that whole
why did
the
he
whole
hire the
episode.
same nigga?
What you mean?
Every other stunt double scene we ever had was good. I ain't never noticed that till that one. What happened? The boy couldn't make it?
They couldn't find a good one. We got
but they had a good one every other episode.
Wait,
that nigga got sick?
That's what I'm saying.
We had a stunt double before this?
Crest ain't doing bicycle kicks and fucking flips, nigga. Nigga, you see these moves?
And it was seamless, but it was like this time maybe said, fuck it.
Right, usually it's seamless as hell.
You know what? Maybe at the set, man, your boy showed up and it's like,
he was hot.
Nigga, did you shave?
Right, something happened.
You ruined our whole
motherfucker.
We gonna film this shit anyway because we ain't got nobody else and we overclocked, goddamn, we over time.
You see we switching out to buy as well henchmen, nigga. You know we on a budget, goddamn. Fuck. So anyway, man, like I said, so we giving it 2 full votes, 1 3.5. Still a good episode, still in good territory. Still going hard as far as I'm concerned. I'm still excited about what's coming. You heard me? So we about to get up out of here, man. Keep listening to the Reviewing That Lightning podcast. Tell your peoples, dog. Come check us out at FlyWithBats.podbean.com. Send us any email to reviewingthatlightning@gmail.com. This is that actor guy, Martin Bats Bradford. You can find me at all your social media platforms at Mr. Bats. And for this week, episode 4, Black Jesus. You heard me? I'm out here.
And find me, Marty, Marty Edwards 504 on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. You can also go to lowrainpictures.com, click on the Your30 tab. That's where you'll find a podcast that I host with my co-host, Arrogant Observer. And we post every Friday. Check us out. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for having me, sir.
Thank y'all.
Fun as always, man.
J.Steel. Follow me on Instagram at IamJSteel_. Catch me on The Misbelief as well.
Yeah, and I even shout out to other people, man. Shouts out to Misbelief Radio Show Podcast. Shouts out to, we already shouted out Your30. We always shout out FlyWithBats Podcast. Your30 Podcast. We'll Figure This Out Podcast. Fuck What You Heard Podcast. 3 the Hard Way Podcast. The Brooklyn Ladies of Therapy Noir Podcast. The Black Guys Next Door, Metal Hand of God, and I think that's all. Well, I said we'll figure this out, yeah. So anyway, yeah, check out our fellow millennial podcast, as well as, once again, spread the word about ours, man. We having a whole lot of fun. We still appreciate the hell out of this show, and of course, as usual, we're excited to see what happens next. Until next week. I thought you were going to say something clever at the end or something, Marty. I thought,
nah, man. Cold
dead. For the helpless. Wishing somebody come save us. Black lightning's back, come to shock the haters. Hey, no lie, seen him with my own eyes. Electric shocking guys, putting them all in line. About time somebody came down here and dealt with crime. Not just the gangsters, the police is out of line. So it's no trust, they don't understand our trouble. I don't know him myself, but do we come from struggle? Cause I'm like no superheroes around here, bruh. I'm like, he gotta be one of us. Gotta understand the hate and the distrust. Restore the feeling, put the love in us. My partner say I'm high, I must be smoking something. I said you're right, I know the change, I know I'm feeling something. Stand up for something, or fall for anything. Lightning came with no rain. I saw a superhero last night, he was black. He said, this is for the hood, Black Lightning's back. We pray at night for the helpless, hoping you get us through breakfast. Wishing somebody come save us.